This is a production of SDPB.
Touchdown! This is for a state championship. Oh, drive kick, and it's good!
There's going to be some highlights coming off of this.
The short-range jumper.
Edging out in lane 4, the top seed.
This South Dakota High School State Championship event is conducted under the direction of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to everyone on the eastern part of the state. Along with J.J. Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. Welcome to Day 2 of the Boys AA Basketball Tournament here on SDPB. We are in Rapid City inside the Monument, the Ice Arena, for consolation bracket play this morning/afternoon. As we've got 4 games on the schedule, 2 here in our early session, 2 a little bit later on tonight at 5 Mountain Time. Let's look at this afternoon session. The T-Area Titans against the Watertown Arrows. That is our first consolation matchup of the day. We'll follow that up with the Brandon Valley Lynx taking on the O'Gorman Knights. That's for the early session, and then we get into semifinal Friday night. 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time is when we'll start. Sioux Falls Lincoln, unbeaten on the air, takes on the Harrisburg Tigers. And then we'll have the Huron Tigers taking on the Rough Riders of Sioux Falls Roosevelt in the second semifinal later on tonight. JJ, I think the physicality of the play yesterday kind of was the main storyline for me.
It certainly was. It was a very physical game. All 4 games yesterday were very physical. I expect it to have an impact today. I would think in the first few minutes you're going to see teams kind of just jogging up the floor, getting a feel for how things go. The good news is the nerves are out of the way. You got that out of the way yesterday, so now you can focus on basketball. And in these afternoon sessions, everybody's looking for a win, so you're going to see a little bit more of a focused attitude out there and hopefully some good basketball.
Let's look at the teams in our first matchup. Pat McClemens leads the Watertown Arrows into the state tournament in what is his final year as head coach. He is retiring at the end of this season. You see their opponents throughout the regular season. Big wins over Brandon Valley, O'Gorman, and Roosevelt. They beat Mitchell in the Sodak 16, 57-43. A close loss yesterday to Harrisburg by just 4 points, which kind of a mirror of their first matchup.
Yeah, and honestly, that game, it was not close with about 4 minutes to go, but that Watertown team just did not want to go away. They kept battling, made it a 4-point game. They had their chances in that game against number 4 Harrisburg. Came up, unfortunately, on the losing end, but a chance to rebound today. And these seniors, 4 of the 5 starters today as seniors, will be leading this charge for the Arrows to see if they can't pick up their first win of the weekend.
Carter Bisker left them yesterday with 23 points, a 6'3 senior. Jack Mack, a forward, 6'6 and a junior. Caden Decker, 5'11 and a senior guard. Jackson McClemens, the coach's son, 6'5 and a senior. And Isaac Rehorst, 6'7 and a junior, their First Dakota starting lineup for the Watertown Arrows. On the other side of the ledger is head coach Drew Weber in the T-Area Titans in only their second season at AA basketball.
Yeah, it was a tough loss yesterday, 69-44. That's not how you want things to go in the opening round of the tournament. They shot just 33% as a team, 24% from three-point land. I would expect this Titans team to show up today and be more of an offensive-minded team. I think the threes are going to fall for them today, and they just need a good rebound game. But this is a team that was playing hot heading into this tournament, 13-9 overall on the year, nothing to shake your head at. They've been a very good road team this year, 8-4 on the road. This is a neutral site game, but a chance for them maybe to exercise some demons, and that lone senior, Caden Williamson, leading the charge for this Titans team today against a very more experienced Watertown team, but their youthfulness might help them today as they get into day 2 of this tournament.
Yep, Blake Lundeen, Gavin Shaw, Mitch Grant, Griffin Wiebinga, Caden Williamson, the starting lineup for the Titans. Starting lineups brought to you by First Dakota. Well, we've got the Douglas Band here. They will be our band of the day as the fans still coming into the Ice Arena here. We're just moments away from the introduction of the starting lineups. Mr. Joe Van Gore is our public address announcer.
Good morning, basketball fans. The South Dakota High School Activities Association along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this third session of the South Dakota State AA Boys Basketball Tournament. This is consolation semifinal number 1. With a record of 13-9, the T-Area Titans, and with a record of 16-6, the Watertown Arrows. Fans, at this time, we ask you to please stand, if you're able, as we honor America and those who protect our freedom at both home and abroad, and in celebration of our nation's 250th birthday with the playing of our national anthem. The national anthem this morning will be performed by the pep band from Douglas High School under the direction of Jennifer Stelzig. We would remind all in attendance that the proper respect is to face the flag, remove your cap or hat, and stand at attention with your right hand over your heart. Veterans and active duty military not in uniform may also salute the flag. Basketball fans, our national anthem. Thank you. This year, in partnership with the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the participating schools of the Boys State AA Tournament, and the officials of the tournament, we are proud to introduce the Junior Official Program. We appreciate the willingness of our officials to take part in this initiative and mentor younger individuals who have an interest in officiating. The program provides a great opportunity for youth to gain exposure to the officiating profession while learning from experienced officials in a state tournament environment. We are proud to welcome our junior officials for this game. Representing T-Area, Thea Knutson. And from Watertown, Mick Loschke. And your officials as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association for this game. The referee is Luke Langer. Umpire number 1, Andy Deinert. Umpire number 2 is Lucas Pearson. The alternate at the table is Jeremy Grady. These officials are licensed by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate this game. We ask that you please respect their decisions as they officiate this game. Fans, the head coach of the T-Area Titans is Drew Weber. And the head coach for the Watertown Arrows is Pat McClellands. And now, fans, Here are the starting lineups for this consolation semifinal. In alternating order, first of all for T area, a 6'8" sophomore, number 3, Blake Lundeen. For the Watertown Arrows, at a guard, a 6'3" senior, number 2, Carter Bisker. At a guard for T area, a 6'1" junior, number 4, Gavin Shad. For the Arrows, at a forward, a 6'6" junior, number 5, Jack Mack. At a guard for the Titans, a 6'3" sophomore, number 10, Mitch Grant. For the Arrows, a 5'11" senior guard, number 11, Caden Decker. For T area, at a forward, a 6'4" junior, number 11, Griffin Wiebinga. For Watertown, at a guard forward, a 6'5" senior, number 13, Jackson McClemens. For T area, at a forward, a 6'3" senior, number 21, Caden Williamson. And for the Arrows, a 6'7" junior forward, number 20, Isaac Rehorst. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel Seed. All right, T area fans, are you ready?
And we are ready to get underway. Our first of 4 games today here on SDPB. Along with JJ Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. Great to have you here, T area. Wearing the white uniforms today, the purple uniforms for the Arrows.
It'll be really interesting to see how these two teams respond today. Again, it was a close one for Watertown. They were a 4-point separating them between Harrisburg and a win yesterday, and then it was T area against that gauntlet against Lincoln, 69-44. Both teams would like to get the offense going early. They'd like consistency, and for Watertown, if they can get some transition opportunities and run the floor, I think they're going to really feel like they have a chance to win this basketball game.
They met in the 3rd game of the season. It was won by the Titans, 65-61. Titans start with the basketball, man-to-man, and they go inside, and that's a nice pass inside to Shad. Nice entry pass from the exterior. Titans strike quickly first.
Shad had a good game yesterday, 12 points, 9 rebounds. He was a big factor in what the Titans were hoping to do offensively.
Rehorst had it, slipped through his fingers, and it comes away to the Titans. Lundeen was calling for it, but the angle wasn't right, and the defense was back for Watertown. Pass along the perimeter. Grant lobs it inside. Lundeen approaches, spins, short. Rebound, Rehorst. Both teams very similar. Ooh, dangerous pass, tipped out of bounds there by Shad. And the Arrows kind of got away with one there.
Yeah, they got to take good care of the basketball here today if they want to have a chance to win. And the ball security for really every team we saw for the first 4 games of this tournament. If you're turning the ball over, you're going to put yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit. So taking care of the ball, making good, crisp passes, I think has got to be focus number 1. And then executing the offense, getting high percentage shots, making sure that the defense doesn't feel comfortable out there. If the defense is dictating the game, it could be a long afternoon for both of these teams.
Rehorst tries to muscle it up. Nothing there. Weak side rebound to Williamson. Up ahead, Wiebinga. Grant, I think he traveled. Yes, he did.
Interesting to note that Grant is not wearing a knee brace today. He was wearing one yesterday, perhaps feeling a little bit more freed up today without having that extra gear on. We'll see how that impacts his game.
Decker slips to the outside to take a pass. Trying to find somebody down low, nobody open, but they found a shooter in the corner, and the 3 rattles in and out for number 2, Bisker. He had a good look.
He played a lot of minutes yesterday and played a very physical game. 32 minutes on the floor in the loss, and he was on the floor just about as much as he was running the floor. But boy, when he's out there getting his hands active, he's one of those leaders defensively that can change the game.
Clemens misses on the three. Rebound to the Titans quickly. They're up court. Shawed into the paint. Rolls off the rim. He got his own rebound and scores.
Well, he's off to a good start today. He's got all 4 of T-Area's points. Seems to be feeling loose. His feet are bouncing. Like the active nature what he's bringing out on the floor early on.
Mack tried to force one up there, and he was fouled along the baseline. And they're going to tag Lundeen with the foul, and that is his first. Mack on the year, 56%. 8 points, 6 rebounds yesterday. That one's halfway down and bounces out.
Yeah, he was 4 of 9 at the free throw line yesterday. They're still trying to figure out free throws as a team. Yesterday, Watertown was 66% as a team at the free throw line. It's not bad, but they'd like it closer to 75, 80% if they can help it.
That one rolls off the rim, no good. Dane Stark, number 10. Ashton Rabine, number 12, checking into the game for Watertown. They're going to try to post up. Ooh, dangerous pass there. Bounced off somebody. They're going to say it's off of Watertown, and it'll stay with the Titans.
Watertown has started the day 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Still trying to figure out their offense here. They're getting good looks, and that was kind of the story yesterday, too. They were getting plenty of good looks. They just weren't necessarily falling. At one point, their head coach, Pat McClemens, even said, hey, I'm not going to be mad if you shoot those open threes. Go for it. Just didn't quite work out for them the way they wanted.
Mitch Grant with the bucket, 6-0 lead, 5 minutes to go here. First quarter, Arrows trouble getting underway here, have yet to score. They've had a couple good looks. Bisker on the drive, lobs it back. Here's Grant with the ball, driving in, spins on Lundeen, throws it outside, and the pass is tapped. Still collected by Rabine. And we're going to have a foul, and that's going to be on the Titans. And they're going to catch Gavin Shawed with the foul. Timeout on the court. 4:38 left to go. First quarter, 6-0. Titans on top of the Arrows. Back in a minute, right here on SDPB.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
We're back inside the ice arena here for day 2 of the boys AA basketball tournament. Bounce pass inside, and it's missed. The rebound put up. Boy, that was Dane Stark, who had a wide open look, and it just rolled off the rim, but there will be another foul on the Titans. Arrows will get some free throws.
Yeah, this will be Jack Mack going to the free throw line again, already his second trip today.
Grant got the foul, I believe.
It's been a very active rebounder over the last 2 games here for the Watertown Arrows. In that Sodak 16 game, Mack had a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Yesterday, 8 points, 6 rebounds. This is a guy who seems to be one of the more physical players for Watertown, and figure he gets to the line quite a bit. This one misses off the front side.
But there's McClemens with the rebound. His shot missed, out of bounds to the Arrows. Seems to be a lid on the basket down on that end of the court as Mack is going to get a break. Rehorst in to replace him. Bisker will trigger it in from the baseline. Clemens can't fire the three. Works into the paint, fade away. Finally, a shot goes in for the Arrows.
Yeah, as a team, they started 0 for 6 for the day. McClemens was 0 for 2 before that one went in. Good to see them get the lid off.
Grant with the drive, shut off. Up top, Shad, free throw line, Jay, got it. 6 points for him in the early going. Rehorst posting up, trying to find him, can't, at least at the moment. Rehorst steps outside to take a pass. Bisker, quick release three, in and out. Rebound, Lundin. Wiebinga fires the shot, no. Rebound, Rehorst up high for that one. Stark on the move. Rabine in the corner. Bisker stepping outside. McClemens contested shot, in and out, but he was fouled. And that should mean 3 free throws. And that's going to be on Wiebinga. Watch it again on the replay.
Most of that contact, I think, came when he was coming down from the floor. And it is a point of emphasis to allow shooters the lane to come back down when they shoot, when they elevate, to have that space so there's no injuries. And the officials right on top of that one.
Watertown has a team 0 of 5, now 1 of 6 at the free throw line. You got Caden Decker back into the game. Decker, number 11 for Watertown, signed to play football for Morningside. 2 out of 3 free throws made. 8-4 Titans on top here in the early going. And we're going to have a foul on the entry pass. That's going to be number 20, Rehorst, with the foul. First of the game for Watertown.
Watertown wants to find a way to keep Rehorst on the court as much as possible today. He fouled out with 5 points, 3 rebounds last night. They're going to let him play with his first personal foul for now, but if he picks up a quick second, they'll probably have to force him to the bench.
Grant takes it in strong for his 4th point. Now Rehorst trying to muscle his way in. Shot partially blocked. Oh, I think he just got teed up. He did. Technical foul. Yeah. He said something to the official. He thought he got fouled on that last play.
Yeah, it was maybe a frustration moment there after getting his shot blocked. He thought he got fouled, and he let the officials know with some hand gestures, and they sent him to the sidelines here now, and he's going to get talked to by Coach McClemens.
Wiebinga will shoot the technical free throws. On the year, he's an 80% free throw shooter. Looks like number 22 has come in for Watertown. That one will not fall. And that is Mason Anderson, a 6'3" sophomore. He'll be in that post position for the Arrows. And the Titans play it in as we come up on the 3-minute mark.
Titans have hit 4 of their last 5 shots. They're shooting 63% on the day, and that's going to go up now with their 6th make in 9 tries. They definitely feel like they've exercised some demons here today offensively with the way they've come out to play in this first quarter.
Ball goes out of bounds off the Titans. McClemens is going to get a break. Bisker back in for the Arrows. Shot with 8 points already. He averages 21 a game.
Hey, listen, Drew Weber's team knew what they had in front of them here today, knowing that they were going to have to face a tough Watertown team. They faced an even tougher opponent yesterday. They feel like they've got a chance to play a little more freely today after that tough battle against Lincoln, the unbeaten team, the #1 seed. And I think this T team is determined to prove that They belong amongst the elite at the AA level, and they have come out gangbusters here so far today. It's an 11-point lead. They've now hit 5 of their last 6 shots and are shooting 70% from the field in this opening quarter.
And watch Shad here on the drive, got around Mack. Anderson couldn't get there in time. The lefty layup is good. And Watertown has missed its last 4 shots from the floor, hence that contributing to the Titan run here in the last few moments.
Well, Shad has been terrific. 10 points, 5 of 6 from the field. He's got a rebound. He's done a little bit of everything already here today for the T area team. Grant has added in 4 points. Nobody else has really contributed. Wiebinga had that 1 free throw, but it's been a 2-man show so far today for the Titans. And Watertown a chance maybe to regroup in the huddle and maybe make a more defensive-minded focus on number 4 and number 10 and try to force T to make somebody else make a bucket here at the end of this quarter and beyond.
Yeah, but the thing about the Titans is that they're getting contributions in the floor game from some of those other players out there. Lundeen has been strong in the paint there, the big 6'8" sophomore. And, Lane Sieber coming into the game provides them some height at 6'3". Remember, Sieber got 10 points yesterday coming off the bench for the Titans. Arrow's got some work to do as McClemens has all 4 of their points as he handles the ball, bringing it up. Coming out of the Watertown timeout. They need to play here. Let's see what they concocted in the huddle. Anderson backs down low, puts it up short of the mark, and the rebound pulled down by Williamson. Wiebinga on the move, fires a pass to the corner. Shad, not that time, as McClemens clears it away. Bisker drives, and he got fouled, hit the deck hard again because he hit the deck hard a few times yesterday as well.
Well, Shad feeling confident there a moment ago on that 3-point attempt. He is 0 for 5 now from 3 at the tournament. Bisker gets to the free throw line. He had a big day yesterday in that loss against Harrisburg. 23 points, 5 rebounds. He was active at the free throw line too, going 5 of 8. One of those leaders, and as Coach McClemens was saying before the tournament, probably the most vocal leader on in this team. And I think right now maybe the voice isn't needed so much, but being just a presence on the court to get some points out there, play the game the right way, be a leader by example. He gets some points at the free throw line and helps get his team back within 9.
Shad with the ball. Wiebinga, the long 3, that's going to be short of the mark, and the rebound bounced off a couple of Watertown players, but Rabine ends up with it. Now Bisker will operate to Mack. Rabine steps out to take a pass. Bisker likes driving to his left, gives way. A 3 is good. McClemens. And McClemens gets the steal at half court. He'll drive the jump step. Free throws coming up. Good play by McClemens to get that steal near half court. And that'll be the second foul on Mitch Grant.
Well, you got to remember, too, T had a full 24 hours, essentially, to get back out on the court and get ready today. Watertown played the second game of this tournament, so they're playing on short rest compared to where T is. It might have taken them just a few extra minutes to get their legs underneath them, get a little comfortability out there. But all of a sudden now, with a couple free throws going in, it's a 7-0 run for Watertown in less than a minute.
Yeah, nice run here by the Arrows to climb to within 4. See how the Titans respond. They're going to try to post up Wiebinga. Elevates over McClemens. No. Rebound. Bisker has it. Nothing but purple jerseys there. See, Bisker again likes to go to the left side. Oh, laid it off the rim. No good. That was close. And players hitting the deck again. And free throws coming up for the Arrows.
Well, that's how they're getting back in this game. Watertown 6 of 11 at the free throw line so far. They're only shooting 14% from the field, but finding ways to put points in when certain avenues maybe aren't working.
Bisker on the year, 77%. Lundeen in. Dashiell Lowry, who was in there, is going to check out for the Titans.
Well, this is a good confidence-boosting turnaround for Watertown, too. They started the day 0 for 5 at the free throw line. Now have made 7, 8 in a row. They're right back in this game in a 2-point contest with less than a minute to play in the quarter.
And boy, this game, you mentioned it, turned around in a big hurry. It looked like T might run away with this one. The arrows say no dice. Uh-oh, player tripped up. And again, players hitting the deck left and right. Feet got tangled up. I think it's going to be Caden Decker who... they're going to say Bisker with the foul. Not in the act of shooting. Two-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Shaw definitely tried to plead his case to get some free throws there. I think he wants the moment to try to collect himself. He hit the ground very hard on that play.
Oh, I think he stepped on the line out of bounds. He did after he took his pass, and the turnover gives it to the Arrows. Shot clock and game clock practically matched up. 35.5 on the game clock, 35 on the shot clock. Let's see if the Arrows are going to hold for the final opportunity here, down by 2.
They've hit just one of their last 7 shots. They would love a confidence-boosting make here before the end of the quarter from the field.
Bisker with it now to McClemens. He's going to fire the long 3. It's an air ball, but Rabine collects it. And the ball's loose on the floor. Rabine picks it up. Again, shot clock and game clock pretty much identical. The 3 on the way, no good. Williamson clears it, long outlet, almost stolen by Bisker. Here's a shot by Shaw, good, and it counts. A 3-pointer. And that's how the first quarter will end. Titans 18, Watertown 13. Let's look at that shot again from beyond the pro arc. Bingo. We're taking a timeout. We'll come back with more from the boys AA tournament right here on SDPB.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
We're back, ready to go here. T area 18, Watertown 13. The Titans get a big boost at the end of the quarter with Gavin Shaw nailing a 3-pointer at the buzzer.
Well, and he had the presence of mind to look back at the clock behind him before launching that shot just to see how much time was left. Knew he could take an extra step or two up to launch and connect, and makes his first 3 of the tournament. So nice momentum booster for the Titans, who seem to be getting back on the right path.
Shaw is on fire with 15 points.
It's his 7th make in 9 tries here in the first half alone.
And just like that, the lead has jumped out to 7 points. Decker, a 3, no, and up high is Wiebinga for the rebound. Shaw is a junior at 6'1". Gets the ball, another 3 on the way, yes! 18 points for him, JJ.
Yeah, this kid came out electric to start the day on day 2 of this tournament. He is literally putting his team on his back, saying, let's go, boys. And the Titans are just going to ride his wave of success right now. Watertown hasn't had an answer.
That was an open 3 by Rabine. It just rolled off the rim. Had the clean look. And that pass tipped into the bench by McClemens. Here comes Rehorst into the game.
And Shaw shooting 80% in this game right now. As a team, T area is shooting 63%. Outside of Shaw's 8 makes, there have only been 2 that have gone in for anybody else for the Titans. Just double team the guy and see what they can do to stop him, but He's been able to evade defenders, drive into the rim, basically at will. He's hitting threes. You can tell he's feeling it.
McClemens, great anticipation. The steal, layup, good.
Well, he's the answer on the other side right now. He's got 11 points. That's his third make from the field. 4 of 5 at the free throw line over 9 minutes.
Shaw drive, step back, jumper, no. Rebound, Watertown. McClemens pulls it out of the pack. Gets it back from Mack. Gets around Wiebinga, the jump step, the pass. Bisker open, yes. Big three-pointer there. Arrows back within 5. For Bisker, that's his first field goal of the day.
And that's his 5th made 3 of the tournament. He's been pretty successful from distance. One of the few guys in Watertown uniform that has been able to hit the threes.
Sieber draws the foul on a drive down the lane. And that will be a foul on Dane Stark, his first.
Boy, and the body language and the facial expression from Coach McClemens, comical there. He looked at the official saying, man, we would have loved that call to go the other way. He thought he had all ball. Just a little bit of the forearm that time, though.
Sieber on the year, 60%, had a big game, 10 points off the bench yesterday against Lincoln. And he got them both. He's into the scoring column. And Dane Stark, the 6-foot junior, he'll operate things in the front court. Mack had to go out and get that one, pull it away from Williamson. Rehorst, they're trying to post him up. Rehorst steps outside. 10 on the shot clock. McClemens gonna work one-on-one, pull up Jay, no, and Williamson the rebound. Wiebinga on the move, lost the handle. They find Shaw. Let's see what he can do. Has McClemens on him, step back, won't take the shot. Good defense there. Sieber throws it over to Wiebinga. Still got time. Pass cross court. Nice dump off to Sieber. Had the open look, missed it. And Mack with the rebound. Coming up on the 4.5-minute mark. Bisker open in the corner. 3 on the way. Short. Rebound, tipped for, fought for, controlled by the Arrows. Pass, tipped. Shaw with the steal. Trying to drive, layup, missed it. Rebound, Mack. Down the other end of the court we go. Mack will let the traffic pass him by here.
Well, and good effort from Bisker to get back defensively and not give the easy layup. He had to earn it, and he didn't get it.
Thrown out of bounds. Timeout on the court. 4:03 left until halftime. Titans 25, Arrows 18. Back in just a moment on SDPB.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Back here in the Ice Arena along with J.J. Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. 25-18 is our score. Titans on top of the Arrows. The shooting percentages, J.J., if you looked at them and looked at the score, they go, something doesn't add up here.
Yeah, I mean, the free throws have saved Watertown in this game today. They're 8 of 13, but shooting 17% from the field overall. T is shooting 53%, but they've gone 3 minutes without a make from the field.
That one hit the side of the backboard. It was saved by Lundeen. Then Mack clears it away.
Mack has been doing a great job on the glass. Watertown as a whole out-rebounding T 18-14 today, 8-1 on the offensive glass. The problem is they've only been able to turn those 8 offensive rebounds into 2 points. Bisker gets the bucket there. But, yeah, this is a team that's doing all the little things right for Watertown right now, except for getting the bucket to fall with consistency. That shot there ended a 2.5-minute scoring drought for Watertown, and they're back within 5.
Sieber steps outside to take a pass. Wiebinga spins. Can't get to the baseline. Cross-court pass. Goes to Grant. He has trouble handling it. Traveling. Turnover. Titans.
Titans have missed 5 straight shots. They haven't made a bucket in almost 3 minutes. The turnovers are starting to load up. That's their 5th of the day. Actually, their 6th of the half. Watertown seems to have the momentum on their side right now. Bisker's been the hot hand lately. McClemens was early. See if they can't get one of the other 3 guys. Mack might be the answer.
Oh, that was player slipping there. That was Mack. Ball goes out of bounds, but it was off a Titan player.
You'll see natural slips throughout the course of a game, but we did see as the day went on yesterday a few extra slips that were a bit concerning for the players out there. And obviously the safety of the players is the #1 concern, but you want to make sure that this surface is acceptable, playable. There's no issues. You don't want to see any knee injuries, things like that as the contest and the event goes on throughout the weekend.
Shaw gets the rebound off the McClemens miss. Outside to Grant. Grant on the drive, no, and we got a whistle. He got hit on the side of the head. 2 free throws coming up. And that will be a foul on Rehorst, his 2nd. Check that, that'll be his 3rd foul. Mitch Grant on the year, 65%. Young man is a sophomore.
Yeah, he started as a 9th grader last year, switched to playing point guard this season. Probably the best defender on this T-area team. He's also the quarterback on the football team. He's a guy that just goes out and leads by example.
Yeah, averaged 9 points and a little over 6 rebounds per game.
He started 20 of 21 games this year, too. He's been a model of consistency out there throughout the course of the season. Didn't get that free throw to go, though.
2:15 until halftime. Mack in the high post. McClemens working on Williamson. Now Bisker with the ball. Bisker a 3, got it.
He was a 40% three-point shooter during the regular season, probably their best long-distance option.
Rabine clears it away off the miss by Wiebinga. Watertown down by just 3. Mack muscles it up, and it'll fall. His first points. And we've got a timeout called by the Titans with 1:34 left, and Watertown has battled their way back to within a point.
Yeah, T looked like they were going to roll away with this game over the first 5 minutes of the contest, but it has been a totally different ball game ever since. The Titans have not made a field goal in 5.5 minutes. They've missed 6 straight shots. Boy, and you see in the student section for Watertown, they're making some noise now. They feel this momentum shift for the Watertown Arrows, who still shooting 26% on the day, 7 of 27. They're now 3 of 13 from three-point land, 13 three-point shots in less than a half of basketball. That's usually a game total for some teams here at the AA level. So they've been willing to chuck them up, go and see if they can't get through some shooting woes early. But yeah, this Watertown team seems to be the team on the rise right now. In this game, they continue to out-rebound T-area. The Titans are dominating in the paint, though, today. 16-8 points in the paint Titans could use a few more opportunities down low, but Watertown's defense has really taken those inside shots away from them.
Weavinga out on the left wing. Shot, been quiet, double dribble, turnover for the Titans.
I spoke to Coach McClemens before the tournament started and just kind of asked him about adversity for this team this year, what they had to go through. And he said it started before the season even began. They failed to qualify for the Sodak 16 last year. There were some questions about what kind of mental fortitude this team would have this year. So for them to reach the goal of getting back to the state tournament, battling, competing, I think we're seeing that today on display. They got down early. They could have hung their heads, but they are out there playing high-level basketball right now. And just as I say that, Mac dribbles it off his foot and sends it out of bounds. But the last 8-9 minutes of this game, it has basically been all Watertown.
Yeah, Watertown has outscored T in the second quarter 12-8, down by just one with under a minute to go. Titans with the ball. Grant passes down low. Lundeen too strong off the window. Shot clock and game clock practically identical as we wind down the second quarter. See if Watertown can play for the final opportunity.
Boy, and what a momentum shifter this would be if Watertown could take the lead into the locker room at halftime. Their fans, I'm sure, would be making a lot of noise. See how they settle and handle these final 12 seconds.
Pass tipped away into the hands of Lundeen. Outlet. Titans throw it up at the window. Weavinga, does it count? No, they wave it off. Weavinga can't believe it. The officials will confer.
Coach Weber's just going to tell his guys to go to the locker room. The officials waved it off initially. I think they are going to count it. Yeah, they talked it over, and that's a good call there by the officials.
And that's how the first half will end, as you see Shad running down court, missed it. Weavinga left his hands just before the red light is on. 28-25 Titans here at the break. We'll take a break, come back with more right here on SDPB.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Back in Rapid City, it is halftime, 28-25, with T leading Watertown here at the halftime break. We'll look at some stats and highlights in a few minutes, but while we have a moment, I want to remind you that the South Dakota High School Activities Association is a huge part of the sports and activities landscape in South Dakota. On Wednesday, we had a chance to sit down with SDHSAA Executive Director Dan Swartos to learn more about the organization's mission and commitment to our kids in the state of South Dakota.
Well, our overall mission is to provide the framework for education-based athletics and fine arts activities for high school students across the state. So we've got about 177 member schools. Those are public schools, private schools, and federal schools. It encompasses about 50,000 kids. About 32,000 of those kids participate in some form or fashion in one of our activities. I think it's just over 30 different activities that we do between the sports and fine arts activities. And in a lot of ways, some of those fine arts activities are just as, or if not more impactful to those kids. You know, I was at state debate a couple weeks ago, and those kids are just as excited as the kids who are winning a state basketball championship. Or we had our second ever esports state tournament this year, and I had a parent come up to me and just say, "Thank you for sponsoring this. You know, my kid has never had a connection to the school or a connection to other kids outside of this, and now this has given him an avenue where he feels a part of the school. It's teaching kids how to win and lose. It's teaching kids leadership skills, character skills, integrity, working with other people, being a good teammate. There's a lot of life skills that go beyond winning and losing and the actual participation part of it. I have to remind myself all the time, I get to come to work and work for 50,000 kids every day and do things that are going to make their day better if we do it right and then we do it well.
Special thanks again to Dan Swartos for giving us his time and his insight. And boy, they do a good job of making sure that these kids all across the state of South Dakota are represented and taken care of. And they just continue to grow in popularity with all the different events. And we do a great job in South Dakota Public Broadcasting of bringing most of those events to you back in your home as well.
Yeah, and we cover a ton of stuff online as well, in addition to our live television coverage and a lot of streaming services as well. You know, we do cover it all, and it's great to be associated with the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
You can follow SDPB Sports on your mobile device all season long. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Be sure to browse all our action and award photos by searching SDPB on Flickr. Tell us where you're watching from today, read some of our great stories, and enjoy videos featuring the teams, kids, and coaches from across the state of South Dakota.
We're at halftime here, and we got a good one going. Titans on top of the Arrows, 28-25. Back with more from the AA Boys Basketball Tournament right here on SDPB.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile, literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
For your little ones and your biggest joys. Or your forever friends. And your fur kids, too. For your better half. Or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Nothing has embodied the American spirit like the family farmer. Year after year, they continue to work the land and plant their crops. Through droughts, floods, and uncertain markets, they keep that spirit alive with another crop harvested for the next generation. And for that, we tip our hats to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Teams on the court getting ready for the second half of our first consolation game of the day here in Rapid City at the Ice Arena inside the Monument Complex. We've got the Titans over the Arrows 28-25 along with J.J. Hardigan. I'm Steve Toom. Let's check out some of these first half highlights.
Well, if you look early on, you're going to see a lot of the T-area Titans. You're going to see number 4 specifically, Shad. He was electric in this first half. 18 points, 8 makes, and 13 tries. He hit 2 threes along the way. These Arrows started waking up. Mr. McClemmons got things going. He had 11 points at halftime. Only 3 makes from the field, but was busy at the free throw line. There you see Shad doing his thing again. And everybody else started waking up and getting involved. And early on, it looked like T was going to run away with it with the way they were shooting, going 44% in the first half. But eventually, this Watertown team started to figure things out. They upped their totals to 25% by halftime, hit 3 threes along the way. Got some big opportunities, both teams did, in turnovers. Shad with the electric layup there. We had a couple buzzer beaters, including this one right at the end of the first quarter. You can see how energized Shad was early on, but Bisker, the rest of these Arrows, they stayed calm, they stayed poised, found a way to battle back. This one right before halftime, they initially waved it off, but after talking things over, said it counted, and it makes it a 3-point game here at the halftime break.
You see the team stats and the field goal percentage getting better for Watertown, but it's almost 20 percentage points less than the Titans. Free throws, 8 of 13 for the Arrows. Remember, I think they missed their first 5, and Tio's 4 of 6. Rebounding +5 for the Arrows, and the Arrows got a couple of steals there. They're forcing a few more turnovers. The Arrows led by Carter Bisker with 12. Jackson McClemmons with 11. Only all other players scored. That Jack Mack, he's got 2 points. Meanwhile, it's 18 for Shad, 5 for Grant, 3 for Wiebinga, and 2 for Sieber off the bench for the Titans. Both teams got to get more guys involved in the offense, JJ.
Yeah, they certainly do. And for T, they got the 2 threes there in the first half, but the majority of their offense came inside the paint. I think getting that as a point of emphasis early on, getting back to what was working for them, could lead to a lot more success. They've got a 3-point lead right now, but I don't think they feel like it's a comfortable lead at this point. Watertown had a lot of momentum in that second quarter and actually outscored T 12-10 in the frame. They still trail by 3, but it's anybody's game heading into these final 2 quarters here in day 2 of the state tournament.
And you have to tip your cap to Watertown. That was the classic definition of battling back into the contest.
Well, and using their smarts, too. They went in, they got some fouls, they stopped the clock, they hit their free throws after missing their first 5. Now 8 of 13 as a team today at 62%. They've gotten back in this game because of grit and effort, and they're going to need to continue to play that way into this third quarter and beyond.
All right, teams take the court, and we are ready to go as the Titans will start the second half with the basketball. And both teams sending their starting 5 back onto the court. Williamson triggers into Grant, and here we go.
Watertown out-rebounded T in that first half, 22-17, including 9-3 on the offensive glass. If T is struggling to score early on here, they've got to be attacking the rim.
Shad continues the hot hand. He's now got 20. He averages 21 per game. But he is definitely in the zone today. Bisker's got a dozen, top man for the Arrows. And there's a steal. Wiebinga trying to get past McClemmons, and he keeps them at bay and gets the layup.
Well, that's a great start for T. They add 4 more points to their lead now. All of a sudden, it's back to a 7-point advantage. It's a 3-possession game again.
Rehorst with the ball. Decker with it. Drives, puts it up in traffic. That's a tough bucket. First points for Caden Decker.
Well, and he's been quiet here so far in this tournament, but he's been a very big presence offensively throughout the course of the year for this team. He had 12 points in the SODAG 16, only had 6 points in 20 minutes yesterday. The guy who shot 49% during the regular season.
There's a three on the way, and it's good by Blake Lundeen, his first points of the contest.
Yeah, he started the day 0 for 3 from the field. All of that coming inside the arc. He steps out and drains one.
Lundeen only played 11 games on the season before tournament play, but that's McClemens with the three-pointer.
He's up to 14 points now.
Foul on the perimeter. It's going to be on the Arrows. Caden Decker, his first personal. We mentioned McClemens, Jackson McClemens, going to play baseball at Southwest State. Here's a drive, Grant, and we're going to have charging. Offensive foul. Bisker held his ground for Mitch Grant. That is his third personal foul.
Bisker, the 6'3" senior, a little undersized as far as post players, things like that, but he is not afraid to go into the interior to draw those charges. He did it a number of times yesterday. Such a physical presence out there. It's one of those guys that you can tell he kind of just enjoys going in, bumping, bruising, finding ways to be physical.
Yeah, he's a wing player, not necessarily a post player, but he's not shy about contact. As Rehorst, oh, the layup won't go. It just hung on the rim, but wouldn't crawl into the basket. Great play there, though, by the Arrows. They got what they wanted as Shaw puts it up, and he's blocked. I think Bisker got a hand on it. He wasn't alone. McClemens back to Bisker, and he's going to be fouled by Sieber out on the perimeter. That's his second personal.
And it was on the ground. They don't give him continuation on that one. So the Arrows will have to inbound it here on the sideline. It's a 5-point game again. They get a bucket here. All of a sudden, it's a one-possession game.
Arrows have just been battling all morning/afternoon long. We just hit noon here in Rapid City, and Rehorst wide open, the fake. Mack was blocked by Wiebinga. Play continues as Mack is double-teamed. Gonna try to put it up. The one-handed shot is good by Mack. He just had to work so hard for that bucket, but he got it to go, and Bisker got a hand on it. It goes out of bounds.
And I liked Mack's confidence there. After his shot was blocked, he demanded he get the ball back, stayed poised, stayed calm, got the turnaround inside the paint.
And credit Rehorst with making the extra pass. If he would have put up that shot, he was kind of in a bad spot under the basket, but he made the open pass to a wide open teammate, but Wiebinga made a heck of a defensive play. Shaw drives, got it.
You gotta think that this is an audition for that young man today, Gavin Shaw. He is being recruited by area coaches, but hasn't committed to play anywhere yet. Putting on the effort that he has today, I'm sure he's opened the eyes of a few coaches across the state of South Dakota at the next level.
So is that man Bisker. And we've got a foul. And let's see who it's going to be on here. Is it an offensive foul or defensive foul? It's going to be a foul on the Arrows. Timeout on the court, 4:41 left, third quarter. It's a 3-point lead for the Titans. Back in a moment, right here on SDPB.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm onto her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These two privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Get a look at the cheering section there. I believe that's for the Titans down on the far end of the court from our broadcast location.
They are cleaning up the floor right now with some towels. The officials came over to the scorer's table between the break and just said, hey, we might need to get some mops and some sweeps out there between games. It's been a little slippery here so far today. Might not be a bad idea to have those brooms or whatever ready to go between games just to make sure that this floor doesn't become any more dangerous. We noticed it a little bit yesterday. We mentioned it once already today. Now the officials have made note of it as well. So they will try to get that cleaned up and make sure that everything is safe for these players to continue. But right now it doesn't seem like there's anything that's ultimately too dangerous for them to keep playing on.
Ashton Rabine with the tough bucket on a great pass to set him up. Nice play run by the Arrows, and it's a 1-point game. Before we went to break, Bisker got the foul, his second.
His coach reminded him, hey, we love your aggressiveness, just stay in control.
Whistle, foul on the play, free throws forthcoming for the Titans.
You're starting to see the energy level for both teams start to kick up into another gear here as we get into this third quarter. That's usually how it goes. You start to see some adjustments. You see these guys start to get a feel for the opponent on a little bit of a better level, and the energy level goes up. You played a full, hard basketball game yesterday, lost mentally, physically. You're maybe not as strong as you were going into the tournament yesterday. So to get a chance to rebound and go out and play a little bit more freely now here in the second half, I think both teams are hoping for a good, strong finish here the rest of the way.
Wiebinga got them both. And the lead is 3 for the Titans. Under 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Along with J.J. Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. Backdoor cut. McClemens open, count it, and the foul.
Boy, he's been that calm hand whenever they've needed it today. That's his 5th make from the field. He's got 16 points, 4 of 5 at the free throw line already.
And Sieber's going to get the foul, and that is his 3rd.
Yep.
Let's see who's going to, it looks like Sieber's going to stay out there as Lowry goes to the bench along with Lundeen. We've got Grant and Williamson back into the game for the Titans, and here comes Rehorst to the scorer's table. Clemens at the line, that one will not fall, and Williamson a hard-fought rebound there for the Titans. Still man-to-man for the Arrows. As Shaw driving. Nice kick to the corner. Wiebinga in and out. But there's Grant with the rebound. The putback short. Shaw fighting for it. Tapped outside to McClemens.
Well, now a chance for Watertown to take the lead after getting down as poorly as they did early on in this game. Again, we could have easily seen them lower their heads and just kind of say, all right, this is how it's going to be today. But they have battled. They continue to fight and have a chance to take control of this game here against TU, still with 3 minutes left to go in the third.
Lane Sieber just collected his 4th foul, so Blake Lundeen has to check in for the Titans. And a fresh shot clock for the Arrows. Bisker, open, shoots, that's going to be a little short. Rebound to the Titans. Foul on the Arrows.
Yeah, Rehorst a little out of position there as he tried to collect the rebound, got too far behind the defender that time and picks up the personal.
So that's his 4th personal. He'll have to check out. Dane Stark also checking out. Coming in, Caden Decker. And also Rabine gets off the bench. A little shorter lineup in here now for the Arrows.
Yeah, and with Rehorst going to the sidelines, they really want to be able to have McClemens, Rehorst, and Mack out there on the floor at the same time. Those 3 add some size, some power inside.
Bounce pass went off the hands of Wiebinga. Might have been tipped before it got to him.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it might have gotten kicked or something in transition there, but either way, Watertown will get the basketball back now with 2:45 left to go.
Just a 1-point game here. McClemens looking for something. Max sets the screen for Bisker. Pass intercepted. Williamson collects it. Wiebinga gonna go underneath. Grant scores. And a timeout called by the Titans. It's a 30-second timeout. as Coach Weber wants to talk things over with his team. That was a good defensive play down on the other end. That was Williamson getting the job done. And watch this little pass here to Grant. Stop just for a moment to let the defense fly by him.
Area hovering around 50% shooting for the day. They're down south of it for the game at 47%. But in this second half, 5 of 9 from the field, 56%. Watertown still at 35% in the game overall today, but in the second half, 6 of 9 from the field at 67%. Both teams are having much better offensive quarters here in the third. And we've seen an outburst offensively. It's been pretty much all Watertown over the last quarter and a half, really. Area with that bucket there took a smart timeout to make sure they're geared up defensively and have the right personnel out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them bring a little added intensity out of this timeout, see if they can't force the turnover and get some transition opportunities.
Rebounding battle being won by the Arrows at 26-21 as the Arrows operate in the front court. Mack in the high post swings it to McClemens. He'll drive. He's got an opening, and he was smothered, but he got fouled.
It took a little bit of an elbow from Grant into the right side of his face that time as he went up.
Check it out on the replay there. Wiebenga kind of got behind him, and there's Grant with the foul. That is his fourth.
Again, if Grant stays with his feet on the ground and his arms straight up, he probably doesn't get called for that foul, and it might even be an offensive foul. But because he left his feet elevated with the offensive player and created contact in the upper body, the officials correctly called that a personal foul.
McClemens uncharacteristically missed both those free throws. We're still at a 3-point game coming up on the 2-minute mark. McClemens gambled, couldn't get the steal. Wiebenga 3, that's short of the mark. That was it tipped? No. It goes to Watertown.
Again, it just feels like Watertown has the momentum right now. They haven't been able to get over the hump and take the lead. Still trailing here by 3, but they've made 4 of their last 5 shots. They're continuing to get to the free throw line. They've got the edge right now as they continue to battle offensively.
Mack, a little spin, turn, no. Williamson collects yet another rebound. He's had a good day on the boards for the Titans. Shad on the move, floats it up and in. He's got 6 in the quarter.
24 on the day now, his 11th make from the field in 22 minutes. He's now got more points than minutes played today, and that's always a goal. You want to be able to say that at the end of the night.
Decker lost the handle. Now Mack drives in, and he is fouled. Physical basketball here today, folks. And that is going to be a foul on Lundeen, his second.
You lose on day one, that's always a bit of a gut check. It makes you kind of take a step back for a moment, but you still have a chance to go 2-1 at this tournament, which is incredibly difficult to do at the AA level. And so while you say, okay, they're not fighting for a state championship anymore, they still have a lot of bragging rights. That third place consolation championship also matters, and you want to have a chance to go home and say that you put together a good round 3 days of basketball here at the state tournament.
Here comes the full court press. Oh, Shad saves it to the middle of the court, falling out of bounds. Rabine end up with it. Decker, 3 ball short. And here's Shad with the rebound. Foul on the rebound. Let's see if they're going to call it on. And we've got a technical foul called on Caden Decker.
Decker can't believe it. He's just set on knee. This is going to be the second technical of the game on the Watertown Arrows.
Yes. I'm trying to see who the foul. So the foul was on Mack. So that'll be his second personal foul. And then you had the technical foul called on Caden Decker as he was walking up the court. So the rebounding foul, I think, was on Decker. We're trying to listen in on the conversation here just down the way at the scores table. 2 officials come over to talk to the official scorer.
I think there's some question on who the initial foul was on.
Yeah, Mack got the rebounding foul. And then technical foul, Caden Decker.
Yeah. So they got both fouls in the books now, and they got to choose. T got to choose who they wanted to shoot. And, of course, the hottest hand today is Shad, but this is his first trip to the free throw line this afternoon.
Yeah. And the hot hand continues there. He's got 25 points on the season. He's a 72% free throw shooter. And that one will fall.
Took a full trip around the rim before it went in. They're going to give him a third one.
I think this is for, that was the for the foul. Oh, okay, so you have the 2 technical, and then
that's 4 free throws.
Yeah, I think because they have 4 team, or no, that was the 15 foul, so that's the situation.
But it's very strange they didn't have anybody go in to try to rebound after the technical fouls. They had everybody stay in half court.
And I think that's because no matter what, because of the technical foul, Titans get the ball, so that's why the lane was empty. Here as we're under a minute to go, and what a big swing in favor of the Titans. Now they're back up by 8. Shad, step back, why not? He is just on fire today for the Titans.
And that's 6 straight points, the 4 free throws and then the 2 points there. He's up to 30 points now on the day.
That was 6 points on that trip down the court for the Titans. Bisker in traffic, hits the deck hard. He'll get some free throws with 29 seconds left.
Well, this went from a 2-possession game to a 10-point game in the blink of an eye.
Williamson with the foul, his second. Bisker, 2 points in the quarter, 14 overall.
Is this our first 30-point performance of the tournament?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Again, Shad averages 21, so this is not unusual for him as Bisker quietly and confidently knocks down those free throws. Shot clock is off. Shad is going to be met by a couple of arrows. He'll get it back. Dashiell Lowry in the game number 1 for the Titans.
There's a few NAIA schools that would love to have a point guard like Shad on their team. I'm surprised they haven't found a way to get him to commit anywhere yet the way he plays.
That may change after this weekend.
No doubt.
Bisker, that would count. It's just off the rim, no good. What a big quarter for the Titans. They're up 51-41. Back in a moment on SDPB.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride, the values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Welcome back to the Ice Arena in Rapid City. Along with J.J. Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. It is Titans 51, Arrows 41. Gavin Shad currently 32 points. In case you're wondering, the most points in consolation play in one game, 47 by Eric Klein for Aberdeen Central in 1990. He did it in 1991 as well. One of those games, however, went triple overtime.
I mean, he's basically averaging 11 points a quarter right now. He would need 15 in this fourth quarter to get there. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Mack blocked, foul. Lundeen can't believe it. And we're gonna have a technical foul on Lundeen as he kind of slammed the ball. Now that foul was on Williamson. Remember, team fouls reset at every quarter, and Lundeen can't believe it.
Well, that's just a frustration moment there. He just kind of slammed the ball in disgust, and he couldn't even believe it that the technical got called, and he immediately started telling his teammates, hey, I'm sorry, guys. Officials have made it a point of emphasis not to do those type of actions, slamming the ball, throwing the ball that can show up inofficial or create a distraction in the game. This is our third technical of our first game on day 2 of this tournament.
Yeah, this is the most technical fouls I've seen in a long time. So Mack was the player fouled. That was on the shot attempt, so he made 1 of 2. Now Bisker gets the technical free throws.
Well, let's make it perfectly clear, too. The officials aren't just throwing them out there. They've been warranted technical fouls, and they've been well executed by this officiating crew here today. All the officials have done an outstanding job at this tournament. They earn the right to be here. They are always honored when they get the opportunities, and they take a lot of pride in the ability to put on their uniform and officiate these games. We always tip our cap to them for their hard work behind the scenes.
Yep, and we can't have the games without the officials. And you want to find out how to get involved, SDHSAA.com, as Bisker launches a 3 and he got it.
Every time you think this Watertown team is out, they find a way to battle back. It happened yesterday. It seemed like they had no chance to get back in that game against Harrisburg.
And there's a steal, and that's Stark with the layup, and he got it. Dane Stark with a big play for the Arrows.
Ended up being a 4-point loss yesterday, but at times it felt like it was a lot more than that. They were down by 11 at the beginning of this quarter, and now all of a sudden it's a 2-point game again.
The Arrows have battled back time and again, and Wiebinga step back, 3 ball. We got a full timeout on the court with 6:57 left. We'll step away for a moment. This is Class AA basketball. You're watching SDPB.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
It's not just about making a living. It's about upholding a way of life. We are connected to this land, committed to the future. Bank West.
6:57 left to go in regulation. Consolation play here at the AA Boys Basketball Tournament. Along with J.J. Hardigan, I'm Steve Toom. And it's Arrow basketball. They're down by 4. And they'll bring it up with McClemens. T has pulled away time and time again, only to see the Arrows come back, clawing their way back time and again. Rehorst, he lost the handle. Wiebinga picks it off. Up ahead, Shaw, layup, got it. He's got 34. Arrows had a good play. It looked like Rehorst was going to be open as Bisker misses the 3. Rehorst fighting for it, and he threw it off of Sieber. That was a smart play by Isaac Rehorst.
Well, an incredible effort there. That's a young man who's been frustrated throughout this tournament here. He's been in foul trouble, fouled out yesterday, had to sit most of that third quarter after picking up his 4th, but he's out there playing with energy and hustle.
McClemens, 3, yes! And a quick timeout has been called by the Arrows with 6:24 left as the Arrows come battling back. Watch the pick. Nice screen there by Rehorst. Great movement without the ball by McClemens.
Well, and again, it's Rehorst creating for his team there. He saved the ball from going out of bounds, set the key screen that led to the open shot. Sometimes those little things don't show up in the stat line, but boy, the coaches sure notice, and he's going to get some praise in that huddle here during the timeout.
SDPB's coverage of high school sports and activities is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you. A contribution today helps support the broadcast of events such as the state basketball championship tournaments. Make a donation today by visiting sdpb.org/donate. And don't forget, we'll have coverage of All-State Band coming up and All-State Jazz Band coming up here in the next couple of months.
Well, just when you think this Watertown team is out, they find a way to get back in it. They were outscored in the third quarter, 23-16. Those 4 straight free throws, the 6 straight points from Shad, felt like it might be the first nail in the coffin today. And I think everybody for a moment there was saying, okay, let's get through this fourth quarter and move on. But now it's an 11-4 start to the fourth quarter for Watertown. They're right back in this game, down by 3. I love their ability to battle back, to face adversity, to find a way to continue to fight with each other out there. That's what state tournament basketball is all about.
Yeah, tip your hat to Coach Pat McClemens and his staff. They have worked a wondrous job today as, Shad almost lost it there. Looked like he wasn't expecting the pass. He puts up another shot, a rare miss for him, but there's Wiebinga to clean it up, and he's got a dozen.
Boy, McClemens almost came down with that rebound, but Wiebinga just ripped it out of his hands and was face front in front of that hoop for an easy bucket.
McClemens is open. No, that time, but the long rebound to Mack. And here's a shot on the way. It's good, and that's a 3. That's Bisker.
He had 2 hands in his face. He had no business shooting that shot, and he made it look like he's done it a million times. That was a high level of difficulty for that three-pointer to go down.
Under 5.5 minutes to go. It's a 2-point game as Shad puts it up, and he was fouled. That was Stark, I think, who was guarding him. He'll get 2 free throws. And for Stark, that's only his second personal.
34 points today for Shad. He's 4 for 4 at the free throw line. You would have figured he would have been at the line more with the high point total that he's put forth here this afternoon, but he's been busy at the line in the second half, and he's made them all.
Yeah, 35 points. Decker in, Stark out for the Arrows.
And if he makes this one, he's 11 points shy of the single game consolation record.
And that one's missed. Rare miss for him. Mack clears it away, and now McClemens will operate things in the front court. Man-to-man for the Titans. And we have a whistle. Foul away from the basketball. That's going to be on the Titans. And they're going to catch Wiebinga, but that's only his second. Third team foul on the Titans. They have the possession arrow in their favor on the next jump ball. McClemens bottled up. Now Rehorst will take a pass at the head of the lane. Decker double teamed. Wants to drive. Tough shot. Got it to go. High off the window.
That's an impressive shot. Just his second make of the day. He's got 4 points, 2 rebounds in 17 minutes, but that's a big one to bring Watertown back within 1.
Shad now guarded by Decker. Step back. Oh my goodness. He hits another one.
This kid's unreal, man. What he's doing today is just on another level. When you feel it, you feel it. I think he's in cruise control mode out there right now.
McClemens reverse layup, no good. Players hitting the decks as Lundeen clears it away. Shad, Sieber floats it up, no. Rebound, Mack had it, lost it, and it's Decker. He threw it off the leg of Sieber out of bounds. And we got a timeout on the court. 4:18 left. 4-point lead for the Titans. Back in a moment right here on SDPB.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
I can't imagine being anything other than a nurse. I'm also much more than a nurse.
And working at Avera lets me find balance between the career that called me and a life that fulfills me.
We got a good one here at the Ice Arena. We're in Rapid City, inside the Monument. And it's T Area 61, Watertown 57. I'm Steve Toom, he's JJ Hardigan. Arrows with the ball. Out of the timeout, Mack throws it to the corner. Bisker, yes!
Let's not forget about this young man. He's up to 27 points on the day now. His 5th made 3. He's brought his team back within 1.
Wild pass, Rehorse has it, jump ball with Sieber, I believe. And good sportsmanship there, Rehorse helping Sieber back up, who hit the deck pretty hard. I believe is a jump ball. Are we gonna have a foul? Ooh, we're gonna have a foul. I thought it was jump ball, but it's gonna be on Sieber, and he's just fouled out of the game. That's one of the top subs for the Titans. His day is done, and Williamson, the senior, comes back in to replace him.
Well, and keep in mind, too, Rehorst is out there with 4 personal fouls. Whoever that foul was going to be on was going to foul out of this game, so both teams were living dangerously there in that situation.
Foul on Grant, and I think his day is done as he was challenging Bisker, and Mitch Grant is going to be replaced by Dashel Lowry. So 2 Titans here in the last few seconds, JJ, have gone to the bench with foul number 5.
Well, and Coach Weber was arguing that Grant should have been allowed to go after the basketball as well. Bisker had the positioning, though. Got himself into a better spot to secure that basketball. And again, that's a tough call for the officials, but it is the correct call.
This has been an intense basketball game, and we still got 3:45 left.
Watertown takes the lead, it seems like for the first time in forever.
I don't think they've led this game, have they? Because T Area got off to that big start. Schad was double teamed. Here's Lowry. Misses on the 3, and Mack clears it away. All the momentum seems to be on the side of the team wearing the purple and gold.
I think the last time Watertown had a lead would have been in the second quarter yesterday. I mean, they haven't had a lead in quite a while. They've got a lot of momentum going here in this second half.
Rehorse now finds McClemens. He wants to back down into the paint, floats it up, spins around, fight for the rebound. There's a pileup, and if it's a jump ball, it's going to go to the Titans. It will.
There's still 3 minutes left in this game. Both teams are playing like you're down to the last 10 seconds right now. The energy, the hustle, the effort out there right now has been noticeable.
Yeah, who says they're just going to go through the motions here on Friday afternoon? No way. This has been an intense, exciting basketball game here from Rapid City in the Ice Arena. And we still got almost 3 minutes left in regulation. And it's a 1-point game. Tapped away by Mack. Intended for Schad, right into the Titan bench.
Let's be honest, I think Schad was the only one who was truly ready to go when this game started back in the first quarter. He just blew up with his big point outburst. But everybody else is caught up now. It seems like everyone's playing at full steam ahead. The engines are revving, and this is going to be an exciting final 2:45 here inside this Ice Arena in Rapid City.
Weaving a step back. It falls. Oh, my goodness. It hung on the rim for several seconds.
Yeah, you could have hit the pause button on that basketball, and I don't think it would have hung there any longer.
Bisker, double team, trying to get around Lowry, can't do so. Outside now to Decker. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Decker doesn't have anything. Rehorst, he's got an angle, but now he's shut off and has to throw it to the outside. McClemens, no. Schad plucks it away, and I think Rehorst just fouled out of the game.
Yeah, trying to do a little too much that time. He's been playing a lot of hard minutes here today. Just 17 minutes. He's going to finish with no points, 3 rebounds. We've said his name a lot in a positive light here in this second half for his team. Saving basketballs from going out of bounds, creating big screens to set up his shooters, but that time reached into the honeypot one time too many and didn't come away with any treats. He's going to have to sit and watch for the rest of the way here with 2:12 left to go.
He's replaced by Dane Stark, number 10, the 6-foot junior. Coming up on the 2-minute mark in this 1-point game. Titans with the lead and a foul on the perimeter, and that's going to be against Decker. That'll be his third.
This game could very well come down to being a war of attrition. We'll see if there's anybody left standing at the end of this game the way the fouls have been flying lately. 2 players have fouled out, as you mentioned, for T1 for Watertown. Nobody else who's available right now has picked up a 4th foul, but there are several players with 3.
Aaron pass intercepted by the Arrows. McClemens gets it. Watertown with 3 timeouts left. Titans with 2, in case you're wondering. And the Arrows on top by 1 after the Titan turnover. Schad working. Pulls up, that one's off the mark, and the rebound to the Arrows. Collecting it was Bisker, and the Arrows want to talk it over. They'll spend a timeout.
I think Dane Stark might have gotten a hand on that shot that time. If nothing else, he made Schad have to step back on it. You see the outlet pass in transition. And really, this is the first time in the second half of this game today where we've seen Watertown be able to go and run the court in transition. Their coaching staff said that if they're able to do that offensively, that's when you're going to see this team play at their best. Over the first game yesterday, they were really held into a half-court offense throughout most of the game, and they did feel uncomfortable at times. First half, kind of the same story today, but in this second half, you've seen them run. They've used their defense to turn into points. Right now, they're playing like the freewheeling Watertown Arrows that I think a lot of their fans got to see during the course of the regular season.
Titans shooting 51% from the floor. Arrows 38%. 4 more 3-point made field goals for the Arrows. They're 16 of 26 at the line of the Arrows, 11 of 14 for the Titans. And that shooting discrepancy where the Titans, 13 points better from the floor, and yet you figure they'd be up by a pretty healthy margin, but that's not the case. The Arrows are in front.
Well, that 38% shooting day for Watertown really tells a lot of the story. In the second half, they're shooting 54%. They shot poorly in the first half. There's no way to get around it, but they have exercised some demons and then some in the second half, thanks in large part to 3-point shooting. They've made 5 threes in this second half after hitting just 3 in the first half. Now 8 total on the day. They've needed 25 attempts to get there, but they are in the driver's seat right now, up by 1 with the basketball.
Stark picks up his dribble. Here comes out McClemens. Free throw line contested. Jumper good! Arrows with a 3-point lead. Lowry was open, and now Schad. He'll be picked up by Decker defensively in the Arrows man-to-man. There's the switch to Stark. Corner, 3 on the way, no good. Long rebound to Mack. Outlet. McClemens has it, wants to run. He's going to be fouled on the perimeter before he could put a shot up. That was Lundeen, and that's his 4th. But it is the double bonus here. Titans are over the limit, so now the Arrows, 52 seconds left. If they can make their free throws, they may just escape this game with the W.
McClemens now 5 of 9 at the free throw line today as a team. The Arrows are 17 of 27, shooting at just about 65%.
That one's missed, and Williamson yet another big rebound for the Titans. 2-possession game. Schad got a whole bunch of purple jerseys around him, and he'll be helped up by Decker. And that's only the 4th team foul on Watertown. Decker, that's his 4th. Oh, they're going to say it was in the act of shooting. So Schad at the line. He has now 39 points. Make it 40 and a timeout by the Titans. They will have 1 timeout left.
I don't know that I can remember a game in recent memory where a player has scored 40 points in a game. He's 7 points shy of the consolation single game record. It's impressive what he has done here today, and somehow his team is down by 2 points right now. This Watertown team, led by Bisker and McClemens, they've combined for what, 53 of their team's points today?
Yeah. And think about this. For the Titans, this is their only second time ever at the AA tournament. Now, they've been to the A tournament a few times, winning championships in 2017 and 2019. But, you talk about school records for a state tournament. I think he's got that one.
Yep.
And they've had some great players go through the T area system over the years. Some young men who have gone on and had success at the college level, but I don't know if they ever scored 40 points in a state tournament. I saw Ashlyn Copel score 35 last week for Wagner at the girls' A tournament.
Noah Friedel might be the only guy from T that I can remember who maybe has come close to getting a 40-point game. He had a good career at the Division I level, played at SDSU, then went to James Madison for a while. But, I don't know.
Well, his brother Ethan, had a good high school career and then had a good career also at Briar Cliff.
Yep.
So, and they were part of that 2017 team. We were calling that tournament where the Titans were a 6 seed and won it all. But the Arrows here, they got a man loose. It's Mack. He lost the handle. He's too far under the basket for a shot. And there's the quick foul on Wiebinga, who looks a little surprised, but it's actually not a bad foul to have there because it stops the clock. But boy, Mack had an easy layup and the ball just got away from him. 2 free throws here for Stark. Dane Stark, 3 points now on this quarter. And he is a 63% free throw shooter on the season. This is a big one. No, but Mack clears the rebound. Wants to put it up. Now wisely throws it out to the perimeter. Because the clock is the enemy for the Titans, and now they have to commit the foul with Shaw. That's his second. What a huge rebound by Jack Mack.
Yeah, he's done a lot of the little things today. 6 points, 2 of 5 from the field, but 10 rebounds now today for his team.
And now it's a 2-possession game.
Bisker's up to 30 points.
Arrows have outscored T 27-14, make it 28-14 in this fourth quarter. And a quick 30-second timeout has been called by the Arrows as their fans making some noise here. As at one point in the second half, they were down, I think, by 11. I know it was 10. It was 51-41 at the end of the third quarter. But this fourth quarter has belonged to Watertown. They have outscored them 29-14. What a turnaround by the Arrows.
Yeah, just an impressive turnaround. They were outscored 23-16 in the third quarter to flip the script in the fourth quarter and take a 5-point lead now with less than 27 seconds left. This is a lot of will and guts being on display right now for this Watertown Arrows team.
Yeah, several times it looked like the Titans were in full control of this contest, but Watertown has just, again, battled back time and time again this afternoon. But it's not over yet. Both teams, 1 timeout left. It's the double bonus for both teams should there be a foul. Wiebinga facing a little bit of pressure. He's going to pull up for 3. Yes! And they're going to play on. No timeout. We're going to have the quick foul. Wiebinga, that is his 4th.
Boy, and that might be the one player the T-Area Titans did not want to foul in this situation. Bisker, 12 for 12 at the free throw line today. If he can hit a pair of them, it would make it a 2-possession game.
Yep, both teams in the bonus. And that one rattles out.
This has been a great basketball game.
It's been a fantastic game. He got that one. And the Titans with 15 seconds left. They're down by 3. Wiebinga, no! Rebound, Bisker, and he's going to be fouled right away by Dashiell Lowry. For Lowry, only his first. But now, effectively, it's really one to make two.
Boy, the body language for Shaw near half court, I think, says the story right now. He put every ounce of energy out there today with his 40 points. Had his team in a good position. This one, unfortunately, looks like it may slip away from T, but they still got some outs here.
And now the Arrows, they're going to abandon the lane and just concentrate on defense. Bisker, what a game he has had. Wiebenga tries to find Shaw. He'll float it up, and that's off the window, no good. Out of bounds, the ball game's over. Watertown has won 73-68, the final score. A comeback for the ages for the Arrows in a hard-fought game to start things off on Friday afternoon. We'll take a break and come back with more from the boys AA tournament. You are watching SDPB.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
What a way to start off a Friday afternoon here in Rapid City. A come-from-behind win for the Arrows. They trailed, I'd say, for 90% of this game, but they turned it on in the fourth quarter and win 73-68 over the T Area Titans. And what a game to start off, and some phenomenal performances individually in this game. Let's check out these second half highlights.
Yeah, you got to feel bad for that young man right there. Shaw had 40 points today, 15 makes from the field. He was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, added 5 rebounds in 32 minutes, but ends up on the losing end of this one. His team found a great way to get the offense rolling early in this game, and they held the lead throughout much of this contest. Shaw inside, outside, whether it's the threes, the step backs, he was electric in this game. But that young man right there, Bisker, took control late. He ended up with 34 points, made 15 free throws. He added in 5 three-pointers in this game. You can see Shaw again with his answer on the other side. But boy, it really turned into a 2-player battle as Bisker hits another 3. Jackson McClemens had some big buckets in this game as well. That jumper at the free throw line, part of his 24-point effort on the day. He finished with 8 makes, and you see the team numbers here in this one as Watertown gets the 73-68 win. Free throws, really dictated this game today. Watertown got to the line 20 more times than the T-Area Titans did. They hit 10 more free throws throughout the course of the game.
Rebounds pretty even there, +6 for Watertown. Turnovers 5 more for the Titans, and it was when those turnovers happened that really harmed the Titans. Got to mention Griffin Wiebinga, 16 points. So both teams had high-scoring duos today, but it's Watertown coming out on top in this one. A thrilling game to start things off. 73-68, the final score. Well, we'll take a timeout. We will come back and we'll get you set for our second matchup of the afternoon. Back here in a moment, right here on SDPB.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Muth Electric, we don't just power projects, we empower people. We invest in training, mentorship, and career development opportunities at every level. Because strong careers build strong communities. Your future is bright with Muth Electric. Muth Electric now hiring.
Welcome back inside the Monument, inside the Ice Arena in Rapid City, South Dakota. The Class AA Boys State Basketball Tournament here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. One game in the books already on day 2 of this tournament as Watertown picked up the 73-68 win over T. Now we get ready for our second game on the consolation side of the bracket. It'll be the O'Gorman Knights at 13-9 on the season, ready to take on a familiar opponent today. And Brandon Valley, 13-9 also on the year here. And Steve, this should be a good matchup and a good rebound day for both of these teams as we look at the O'Gorman Knights led by head coach Derek Roby.
Yeah, Coach Roby announcing that he will be stepping down at the end of the season. Of course, he started off up at Aberdeen Central, transferred, got the job here at O'Gorman, and has had a tremendous amount of success guiding this O'Gorman Knights programs over the year with multiple state championships starting in 2006, the last one 2017. As you look, they did beat Brandon Valley all the way back on December 12th. That was the first game of the year, and the final score was 48-41. They lost to Lincoln, a really close game in the middle of the season, had a big win over Harrisburg late in the year. They dispatched Sioux Falls, Washington in the SODAC 16 round, and fell to Huron yesterday by 15 points, although that was a close game really until about midway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and as you look at that game against Brandon back on December 12th, that 48-point total is one of the lowest scoring point totals of the year for this O'Gorman team. They had 45 yesterday against that Huron squad, so they're hoping for a much better offensive day on day 2 of this tournament. They did have a couple individual players who stepped up and had good games, and they're hoping that they can get a few more guys involved. Mason Clark, a big part of their offense yesterday, the 6'6" senior, scored 14 points in 30 minutes in the loss. He was 5 of 10 from the field. As you look at the rest of the starting lineup, Braylon Yellowbird, Camden Cece, Chase Hermanson, and Jackson Wheeldryer. He had a good game yesterday, too, the 6'3 senior, hoping to pick up a win today after putting up 10 points on 3 of 13 shooting in the loss.
Yep. 13-9 the record as you look at the starting lineups there, brought to you by First Dakota. This O'Gorman Knight team, they shoot 42% from the floor, 71% as a team from the free throw line, and 32% from beyond the three-point arc. They average 59 points per game.
That's a look at the O'Gorman Knights. We will take another timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at their opponent, Brandon Valley, due up on deck as we continue the Class AA Boys State Basketball Tournament.
Are Peterson reps real-life seed heroes? Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson. We're that kind of seed company.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
The story of Leopold and Loeb is the story of the original crime of the century.
These two privileged boys killed another boy from within their community, and we have no reasonable explanation for it.
They're going to create the perfect crime. It's fun for them.
Deadly Alliance, Leopold and Loeb, on American Stories.
Tonight after basketball on SDPB.
Back in Rapid City as we get ready for our second game of the afternoon session. Brandon Valley due up now with their 13-9 record on the season. Let's take a look at how they got to this state tournament. This is Craig Nelson's squad here, and they've played some great basketball throughout the course of this season. Had that huge win against Jefferson in the Sodak 16, 72-58, and they have really been playing some good basketball. Had a setback yesterday against Roosevelt in what was one of the more physical games of this tournament. And they're hoping for a rebound game here today. It's a team that won 5 straight in late January into early February. They're trying to refine that magic here now at the state tournament and see if they can't win a couple games down the stretch. Some big wins earlier on the year against Marshall, T-Area, and Spearfish. And this is a team that maybe feels like they left something to be desired out there on the court yesterday.
Yeah, they are the defending state champions. Finished runner-up in 2024. And also they finished runner-up in 2013 and back in 2003 as well. And Coach Nelson, obviously lost a lot of players to graduation last year, but they put together a very solid campaign coming into this particular season. As you get a look at the starting lineups brought to you by First Dakota, they got Braden Knutson, a 5'11 senior. He'll start at a guard. Ayul Deng, he will start at a forward. He got banged up a little bit yesterday. I think he got poked in the eye, but still came in and played a really good game. 6'5 senior, and then Briggs Knutson starts at a guard, the 5'11 senior. Briggs and Braden are twin brothers. Austin Dowd, the 6'5 junior, starts at the center position, and then Lincoln McInerney, who had 10 points yesterday. He's a sophomore at 6'2". He ended up fouling out. He had a really good game. That completes that starting lineup. Dowd is going to go to South Dakota State to play football, and Briggs Knutson signed at Dakota Wesleyan to play football, and Will Peterson, one of their reserves, he's going to the University of Sioux Falls to play golf.
Yesterday in the loss, this Brandon Valley team shot just 33% from the field. They were 23% from three-point land, did hit their free throws pretty consistently. They're going to need some guys to step up and get some big offensive days, though. Dang had 10 points. So did Knutson in the loss yesterday. McInerney also had 10 points in the loss, but they're going to need some guys to step up and drive this ship a little bit more for Brandon Valley. They've got a tough battle in front of them today against, again, a familiar opponent in the O'Gorman Knights. They come from the same area. They've probably seen each other quite a bit at the AAU level, summer ball, things like that. So there's going to be some familiarity, both with the coaching staffs and the players out there on the court here this afternoon.
You bet. And the thing about it is they played the first game of the year, so that seems like, an eternity ago in high school basketball. But, obviously, these two schools very familiar with each other as these young men compete against each other in various sports throughout the summer and the school year as well.
For O'Gorman, they want to get a win here today, pick up 2 wins if they can before the end of the weekend to send out their head coach, Derek Roby, in fine fashion. Again, this is his swan song. They unfortunately did not win yesterday, but could still go 2-1 at this state tournament, so they've got a lot to play for. And if our first game of the day is any indication on how this consolation side of the bracket's going to go at the AA level, we are in for a great basketball game here this afternoon. Get settled in, get geared up. We are just about ready for tip-off. All we've got left to do is get you today's starting lineups. For that, we'll send it over to our good friend, Joe Van Gore.
Good afternoon, basketball fans, and welcome to the Ice Arena at the Monument. The South Dakota High School Activities Association, along with its corporate partners, Sanford Health, Dakota Bank, Farmers Union Insurance, Billion Automotive, and the South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to this third session of the 2026 South Dakota State AA Boys Basketball Tournament. In consolation semifinal game number 2, with a record of 13-9, the O'Gorman Knights. Also with a record of 13-9, the Brandon Valley Lynx. This tournament is being conducted under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and benefit of high school students. Good sportsmanship is essential for the success of these programs. We hope you'll enjoy the games and support your athletes in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. This year, in partnership with the South Dakota High School Activities Association, the participating schools of the Boys State AA Tournament, and the officials of the tournament, we are proud to introduce the Junior Official Program. We appreciate the willingness of our officials to take part in this initiative and mentor younger individuals who have an interest in officiating. This program provides a great opportunity for youth to gain exposure to the officiating profession while learning from experienced officials in a state tournament environment. We are proud to welcome our junior officials for this game. From O'Gorman, Sylvan Roby and Decorah Roby. And from Brandon Valley, Jacob Peterson. Fans, your officials as assigned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association. The referee is Shane Gottlieb. Umpire number 1, Steve Scapel, and umpire number 2, Jeff Schroeder. The alternate at the table is Lee Taylor. These officials are licensed by the South Dakota High School Activities Association to officiate this game. Please respect their decisions as they officiate this game. The head coach for the O'Gorman Knights is Derek Roby. And the head coach for the Brandon Valley Lynx is Craig Nelson. And now, fans, let's meet the starting lineups in alternating order. First of all, for the O'Gorman Knights, at a guard forward, a 6'2" senior, number 3, Braylon Yellowbird. At a guard for Brandon Valley, a 5'11" senior, number 1, Braden Knutson. At a guard forward for O'Gorman, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Camden Cece. At a forward for Brandon Valley, a 6'5" senior, number 5, Ayul Dang. At a guard forward for O'Gorman, a 6'2" junior, number 5, Chase Hermanson. At a guard for Brandon Valley, a 5'11" senior, number 12, Briggs Knutson. At a guard forward for O'Gorman, a 6'2" junior, number 5, Chase Hermanson. For Brandon Valley, at center, a 6'5" junior, number 20, Austin Dowd. At a guard for O'Gorman, a 6' senior, number 10, Mason Clark. Also, at a forward for O'Gorman, a 6'3" senior, number 24, Jackson Wheeldryer. And at a forward for Brandon Valley, a 6'2" sophomore, number 22, Lincoln McInerney. Today's lineups are brought to you by Channel C. O'Gorman fans, are you ready?
We are ready for basketball here inside the Monument, the Ice Arena here in Rapid City, South Dakota. This is our second game of the consolation side of the bracket. We've got the O'Gorman Knights in their blue uniforms today, the white letters, numbers, and gold trim. They will take on this Brandon Valley team in the home whites with the red letters, numbers, and black trim. Inside the center circle today, ready to tip things off for Brandon Valley will be the senior Dang. For O'Gorman, they will have on the other side their senior Camden Cece, ready to tip this one off.
Yep, these teams played the very first game of the season. The O'Gorman Knights won by 7 points.
Dang wins the tip-off, but Yellowbird gets the possession and has his shot sent out of bounds. Well, he tried to electrify the O'Gorman Knights fans with a quick bucket there off the tip.
Braden Yellowbird averages a little over 6 points and 2 rebounds a game, and he almost got a quick bucket there. Nice play on the inbounds play.
Cece will run the offense at the top of the key. He'll drive the jump stop left side of the paint. That shot no good. Rebounded by Brandon Valley, and their first look at the basketball now.
Knights going man-to-man.
Briggs Knutson, a player they would like to keep on the floor today. He fouled out in 28 minutes yesterday.
Tip pass
stolen away. O'Gorman will run the other way. Clark goes up and in, his first points of the contest. Answer on the other end. Dang couldn't get that one to go. Cece gets the rebound. He'll push it in transition. 3 and a wide open look from the right corner. That's good. 3-point bucket. Jackson Wheeldryer. He had a good day yesterday. Again, had 10 points in that first round loss. Added a rebound. 3 of 13 from the field. Was 1 of 5 from 3-point land, but got a quick one here. Now the answer on the other end for Brandon Valley. That's Austin Dowd.
Yeah, 3-pointer missed from the corner, but nice job to keep it alive for Brandon Valley. Lynx They're going to go man-to-man as well.
Yellowbird gets it up to the top of the key. 3 on the way. Off the mark, right side. That misses. Rebounded. Lincoln McInerney, the 6'2 sophomore. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds in the loss yesterday against Roosevelt.
There's a double team, and then Yellowbird, he's got to go find Deng in the corner.
That shot no good. Tip to CC. He'll bring it up again and again. He runs the offense with his speed. Trying to go coast to coast this time. Had his legs taken out underneath him on the shot attempt and will go to the line for the first free throw attempts of this contest.
Yeah, he is so quick, so explosive.
Looking at his numbers on the year, a 75% free throw shooter. Yesterday, 4 points, 9 rebounds. Struggled a little bit from the field, was 2 for 2 at the line yesterday.
He was also very active defensively yesterday in that matchup against Huron because the Knights were giving up size at literally every position. And this guy can jump.
Second attempt is good. Good start to the day for the O'Gorman Knights. 2 of 5 from the field at 40%, getting their free throws to fall. Right now a 7-2 advantage over Brandon Valley. Deng, quick pass inside. That one off the mark. He acknowledges that one an errant pass. The turnover giving O'Gorman the basketball back.
Deng is going to head to the bench in favor of number 30. That's Kalen Christensen, the 5'11 sophomore. He had 4 points yesterday. I like the play call because, you know, again, the Knights are the smaller team here. They try to go inside to the big man Dowd to try to post them up. And he had good position, but the pass was just off the mark.
2 minutes gone by here in this opening quarter of action. 3 from the top of the key. That misses. Tipped but recovered by Brandon Valley. O'Gorman liked that offensive set, just didn't get the bucket to fall. They've got the 5-point lead, back to work defensively against this Lynx offense. This one hangs right side of the iron. Nope, picked up by CC on the rebound.
That was good box out by CC to get that rebound on the weak side. Oh, I think he traveled.
Yeah, he went in a little chaotic there, tried to use the jump stop to create a little separation and get that pass away, but lost his footing in the process.
Lynx, they will bottle up that paint. They got some big bodies to do that as we got a couple of subs in for the Knights. It's like Cece and Hermanson to the bench. They're going to bring in Alex Christensen, 42. Number 13, Matthew Mead. Those are generally the first 2 guys that come off the bench for the Knights.
Christian will run the offense. The sophomore gets it up to the top of the key. Knutson bounces it inside, and the right-handed layup is good for Austin Dowd.
Yep, got good position, turned to his right, and just had a good angle at the bucket there.
Both teams start the day 2 for 6 from the floor. Clark gets it into the corner, a little baseline drive. That shot no good. Offensive rebound for O'Gorman. 3 from the left wing, too strong. That's saved by Brandon Valley, and they will push it in transition. Christian nearly lost the handle. They'll reset it at the top of the key. Knutson.
So we got the switch here. We got Dowd trying to post up against the shorter man.
Christian in the left corner, back up to the top of the key. Knutson lobbed it inside. Dowd got fouled on the way up. He will go to the line for 2 when we come back. 7-4, O'Gorman with the early lead here with 4:39 left to go. We will be back in 60 seconds on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
You kept us fed through tough times. And despite rising business costs, you keep doing what you love because you know you're making a difference. No matter the challenges, we're here to help you navigate the highs and lows to grow your business, to improve your land, or to buy new equipment. We all rely on you, and we're just happy to return the favor. Go with Allies. Go with trust. Go with Dakota Bank.
Back in Rapid City with the O'Gorman Knights leading 7-4 over Brandon Valley. The Knights We'll have to watch here for a moment with free throws coming up. For Dowd, he's already got 4 points today, 2 rebounds in 3 minutes. His first trip to the stripe.
Wheeldryer got that last foul for O'Gorman. His first.
Yep, that hangs on the rim. 8 points yesterday, 5 rebounds. Second attempt here is good. 1 of 2 this time around, and they will get some subs in for Brandon Valley. It'll be Ethan Reifenberger. Just played 1 minute yesterday. Reifenberger will get in.
Yeah, and here comes a full court press now for the Lynx, so they bring in a little more speed, trying to get it to Clark.
With CC on the bench, Yellowbird and Clark will be asked to handle the offense for the O'Gorman Knights. Clark handing it off. There's Yellowbird, top of the key. They'll swing it around, and there's going to be a foul, a little push away from the basketball. I think Reifenberger, who just checked in, is going to pick up his first.
Yep, 5'10" junior. Team foul number 2. CC comes back in. Yellowbird gets a break for the Knights. You know, day 2 and you get into day 3, you got to have contributions from your bench.
That shot left side of the iron misses. Brandon Valley with the basketball. They're 2 of 6 to start today, looking for some offense. That one too strong. Quick one and done possession for Brandon Valley, and here come the Knights. Clark with it at the top of the key. This is a guy who can shoot the 3. Instead drives inside, kicks it back out. 3 from the left corner, no good. The putback hangs on the rim. CC couldn't get the tip back to go, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be Brandon Valley basketball.
Oh, heartbreak there for the Knights. That was a great effort by Camden CC, and it just rolled off the rim. You like the effort there as he managed to sneak in to get that rebound.
He's 0 for 2 today now, but does have 2 points, 4 rebounds in 3 minutes. Dowd's going to zip it back outside. 3 from the top of the key for Knutson's no good. And it's going to be a foul on Brandon Valley on the rebound opportunity.
It's McInerney. Yeah, he tried to tap that one away from the O'Gorman player, but body contact right in front of the official.
Both teams trying to keep fresh legs out there on the floor as they work things through in this first quarter.
Landon Voigt coming in, number 34, the freshman, saw a little bit of playing time yesterday for the Lynx, and Dang back on the court for the team in white now.
3:35 left to go here in this first quarter. 2-point lead for O'Gorman. They've got the basketball. CC guarded by Christian, gets it over to Yellowbird. He's got it with the right-handed dribble up to the free throw line. Still 15 on the shot clock. Plenty of time here for the Knights to look for that high percentage shot. Now down to 9. Nice feed inside. That hung on the rim, but they're going to call an offensive foul on O'Gorman. It's going to be Alex Christian, the 6'4 junior, who picks up the harm this time.
Nice bounce pass, but watch the defense there. That was Dang who held his ground. And a great play there by Dang, number 5 for the Lynx.
You mentioned he sat a good chunk of the first half yesterday after getting an upper body injury. It looked like an eye injury. I think at one point they were testing him for concussion protocol, but he was able to get back in that game. And when he's on the floor, a real difference maker for Brandon Valley. And now a loose ball foul on the Lynx. They're going to call this on Brandon Valley's number 34. That's Landon Voigt, the 6'6 freshman. Round of applause from the bench from O'Gorman as Alex Christian exits. Back in the action, Chase Hermanson. 3 minutes left to go in this opening quarter.
Yeah, the Knights shooting 18% from the floor. Brandon Valley 25 currently.
O'Gorman has missed their last 7 shots. They have not scored in 3.5 minutes. CC had that poked out of his hands, out of bounds. Some good sportsmanship there as Reifenberger picks him up.
Yep, tried to get to the baseline. Reifenberger just slapped it out of his hands.
Still 21 on the shot clock. Knights will have some time to run the half-court offense as they get it up to the top of the key. Clark wants it in the left corner. Right-handed dribble and some urgency finding Yellowbird under the hoop. The extra pass to the corner, the 3 in and out. Cece tried to keep it alive. That got kicked out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Brandon Valley. Good effort from Camden Cece.
Yeah, a great execution there by the Knights that did everything but hit the shot. I like the extra pass there to find that open shooter. So we're going to have a sub in here for Brandon Valley. That's Tristan Delaney, number 3, checking in, a 6-foot sophomore.
Still 2:32 left to go in the quarter. Knights will inbound it from the baseline. Cece will run the show at the top of the key. Clark, left-handed dribble this time, gets it to Yellowbird in the corner. He thought about the 3, the extra drive inside, no good. That hung on the rim. Almost 4 minutes without points now for O'Gorman. It's 2.5 minutes for Brandon Valley.
Yeah, both teams in a scoring drought here.
Dang in the right wing, gets it over to the corner. Delaney back to the top of the key. Braden Knutson knocks in the trifecta. Brandon Valley's got a 1-point lead.
Yeah, he's a 41% shooter from beyond the arc, and Knights left him wide open.
Cece, the floater, no good. Rebounded by Christian. He'll push it up in transition for Brandon Valley. Getting it to the sharpshooter. Knutson caught on the baseline. Now Christian on the attack. There's Knutson wide open. He'll launch. That one misses everything, and stepping out of bounds is Delaney as he tried to keep it alive.
Yep, yeah, just ran out of real estate there as Dowd comes back in, and Voigt to the bench for the Lynx. Boy, you know, neither team, you know, the defenses are playing good, but boy, it's just missed opportunities, especially for the Knights. They've had some good looks. Shots just not falling for him in the early going.
Well, the stat lines are virtually identical right now as Clark, the right-handed release, no good from the left wing. Rebounded by Brandon Valley, a one-and-done opportunity here, and O'Gorman now has missed their last 11 shots. It is a 6-0 run for Brandon Valley over the last 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Knutson at the top of the key, guarded by Yellowbird, gets a burst of speed, goes in for the left-handed layup. Nice finish at the rim, and a 3-point lead now for Brandon Valley.
Yeah, he just did that all by himself here. Got a good screen to set him up.
Clark's going to try to answer, going coast to coast. His bucket is good, and the foul. A chance at a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, tried the Brandon Valley Lynx tried to draw the charge here, but you can see the player sliding over. That was Delaney, and that will be his first.
Yellowbird will retreat to the sidelines. Matthew Mead will check back in his place. Clark at the line. 6-foot senior. Clark had 14 points in 30 minutes yesterday. He was 5 for 10 from the field. That free throw attempt doesn't go. It hung on the rim there for a moment. Remains a 1-point lead for Brandon Valley. They'll try to extend it, and they do. The 3-point bucket is good for Lincoln McInerney.
Yeah, nice push of the ball up the court by Dang, and McInerney drifted to the corner, and now it looks like the Knights might hold for the final opportunity or a late opportunity here.
About a 5-second difference, 5.5 seconds as Clark launches. That's good. Boy, that thing looked a little flat out of his hand, but it went right in. And it's a 1-point game again.
Well, now the last opportunity falls into the hands of Brandon Valley.
Dang will run the show this time. Hands it off to Knutson. That's Briggs, the 5'11 senior. Briggs over to the left side. McInerney, the right wing 3. He got fouled on the release with a half a second left. We'll have 3 free throws coming up for Brandon Valley.
Talik Schlimgen with the foul, his first, and cardinal rule, you can't foul the jump shooter beyond the arc. And think about this, there's only 0.6 seconds left when that foul happened.
The lefty at the free throw line, his first. Hits the rim, hits the glass, and goes in.
On the year, 71%.
Second attempt. That's good.
Yeah, it drives coaches crazy when you get a late, you know, whether the shot clock or the game clock winding down. You just want to get a hand in their face. You don't want to make that contact.
3 for 3, trip to the line, and Brandon Valley's got a 4-point lead. The teardrop doesn't fall. That's how the end of the quarter comes about. Brandon Valley a 4-point lead as we go to the second. We'll be back with more stats and more basketball after the break on South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
You're committed to building relationships, to exceeding expectations, to serving your community. Your financial partner should share your vision and your values. For 130 years, we've stood by South Dakotans. We've been there, we'll be there. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West, member FDIC.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Back in Rapid City as we put 8 minutes back on the big board. 1 quarter in the books, and this one right now a 4-point lead for Brandon Valley. They'll get the basketball to start this second quarter. Steve, what's the stats look like?
42% shooting for Brandon Valley, just 24% for the Knights here in that opening period of play. Both teams hitting 2 3-pointers.
Lynx looking to be a little more methodical with this possession. McInerney will try a 3. That halfway down, rattled in and out. O'Gorman with the basketball. Clark will push the show into the half court for O'Gorman. 24% start to their day.
Yeah, rebounding battle pretty even at 11 apiece.
CC, the spin move at the free throw line. They'll get it over to the right side. 15 on the shot clock. CC looking into the interior. He'll dribble with the left hand up to the free throw line. The extra pass to the corner. The 3, no good. Rebounded by Briggs Knudsen. Dang. Gets it back to the top of the key. Knudsen, the pass over to the right side. Finds his brother, and that one's good. Braden Knudsen, the 5'11 senior, knocks in the 3.
Yeah, he averages 4 points a game. He's already got 8, but he's a very good 3-point shooter.
CC baseline drive, uses that leaping ability to go up and get the right-handed layup.
Yeah, defender slipped there along the baseline, and that just opened up an avenue to the bucket, and Camden CC took advantage.
Both teams starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Brandon Valley still leads by 5. Dang picks up his dribble. Knudsen over to the left side. That a circus shot off the glass and in. They're going to count it. And a chance at a 3-point play for Braden Knudsen. Look at this. I mean, he's basically doing a 360 spin move there as he throws it up and kind of looked around like, did that actually go in? Yes, it did. It's a 7-point lead now for Brandon Valley.
Raylan Yellowbird with the foul, his first. And yeah, he just threw it up. A circus shot, but it goes in.
This one misses on the free throw attempt. Yellowbird's going to launch it up ahead. CC leaping, grabbing, skirting his way inside and got fouled on his layup attempt. He'll go to the line for 2.
Like the aggressiveness there by O'Gorman. That's going to be McInerney collecting his second personal foul, and they just fly right up the court.
Made his first 2 free throws of the day. That's his first miss. 4 points, 4 rebounds in 9 minutes.
And CC's one of these players, he likes to fly up and down the court. You know, use that great leaping ability, try to attack the basket time and again.
Second one's good. 1 of 2 this time around. 3 of 4 at the line today for CC. 6:08 left to go in this first half. 6-point lead for Brandon Valley. They'll try to extend it. That 3 no good. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll be O'Gorman basketball.
A couple of subs in here for O'Gorman. As Tyler Schlimgen checks in, number 30.
A couple quick stat line updates for you. Clark, 7 points today for O'Gorman. He's their leading scorer. Knutson's got 10 on the other side for Brandon Valley. This shot good from the right corner. 3-point bucket for Jackson Wheeldryer.
O'Gorman likes to attack quickly. They want to get that shooter in the corner or out on a wing and just, launch when ready. If you're open, take that shot, especially for a guy like Wheeldryer.
3-point lead for Brandon Valley. They got a chance to answer. McInerney inside the lane goes up for the left-handed layup.
Yep, the lane opened up there. A little bit of confusion defensively for O'Gorman, and that just was pretty much an uncontested layup.
CC's 3 misses. 5:14 left to go in this first half of basketball. Lynx lobbing it inside, getting it to their big man. Boy, a tough spin move inside there. He had defenders swarming around him, but the bucket is good for Jaris.
Well, check that. I think it was Landon Voigt.
Oh, you're right. Yep, correct. Landon Voigt got the bucket to go. Nice bounce pass inside, finding CC. He's got 7 points. That's his second make from the floor.
Yeah, good pass there by Schlimgen. And that's something this O'Gorman team to do. They're unselfish team. They'll make that extra pass.
4:34 left to go now in the second quarter. Braden getting it over to the right corner to Delaney. Back outside. Knutson's 3 is good. Braden Knutson lighting up the scoreboard early on today. That's his third made 3. He leads all scorers with 13 points.
Yeah, and again, the guy only averages a little over 4 a game, but he's been on fire. Good box out there by Delaney.
Again, this is just the second game of day 2 from this tournament, but I think the early storylines are some of these individual performances we've been seeing. This young man right here, 13 points already for Brandon Valley. Knutson trying to keep the hot hand going. He's got it in the corner, lobs it on a dangerous pass to the other side. This one off the left side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by O'Gorman. Wheeldryer had it. Now kicks it up into the front court. There's CC back to Wheeldryer. Those two will play catch. CC, heavy contact inside. They're going to call the offensive foul. That'll get us to our media timeout. 28-20, Brandon Valley with the lead and the basketball when we come back after the break.
For your little ones and your biggest joys, or your forever friends and your fur kids too. For your better half or your all-time bestie. For the reasons you smile, there's coverage. With dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of South Dakota and Delta Vision.
Back in Rapid City, South Dakota, the second day of the Class AA Boys State Basketball Tournament here on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. Brandon Valley with the 8-point lead with 3.5 minutes left to go until halftime. Lynx will have the basketball out of the timeout here. They've hit 5 of their last 7 shots, up to 50% shooting on the day now.
Yeah, the Knights are only at 7 of 23 for 30%. They find themselves down by 8 and on defense.
Drive inside, a little hesitation, and now they're going to call the travel. Looked like he maybe stutter-stepped a little bit before putting that one up, and good call by the officials.
Yeah, 4th turnover on Brandon Valley, 3 turnovers for the Knights so far.
3 made threes for O'Gorman. Brandon Valley's hit 4. I think the threes are going to start to become a factor in this game as we get later in the contest. Pretty much every other stat line here today has been pretty even for these two teams. Yellowbird, boy, he a little off balance that time, lost the handle. It'll be Knutson up ahead to Christian. Now back outside. Briggs surveys the defense. Christian wants it, wants to run the show as he lobs it inside. Good zip pass to the top of the key. Extra kick to the corner. Dang, his three is good.
That's his first points of the game. And great ball movement there by the Lynx. Inside, outside, swing it to the corner, find the wide open shooter.
The answer on the other end is good.
That was a great play by Mason Clark.
Comes with a foul, and Clark will go to the line to try to convert on the three-point play. They will get Brandon Valley's Austin Dowd with the personal. Yellowbird will check out of the game for a moment. Leighton Arndt will get in.
Yep, he's a 6'1" sophomore, and I don't think he played at all yesterday, so this, I believe, is his, if he did play, it was very late. Yeah, free throw's good.
Basically a minute right at the end in cleanup time. 35 seconds, I think, is all he got in for, but he'll get some extended time here on day 2. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this first half. Brandon Valley shooting at a high clip here early on at 52%. That pass disrupted, sent out of bounds. Matthew Mead got his hand on that one. Check that. Actually, excuse me, it was Arndt who just checked in.
Leighton Arndt there with the good defensive play. As Dowd had position, he was going to turn and just put it in off the window, but Leighton Arndt did disrupt that play. 20 on the shot clock.
Inbound got taken away by Mason Clark. He'll try to push it in transition. He now alertly pulls back, realizing he didn't have the numbers. There's Arndt over to the left side. Oh, hesitation there for a moment.
Yeah, Wheeldryer
to the corner.
Yeah, Wheeldryer got bottled up, and an errant pass.
Ooh, Clark. Keep it alive at the top of the key. He wants to reset things with 12 on the shot clock. Looking for a screen. Now hands it off. Boy, the floor getting slippery again there. 4 on the shot clock. They'll have to force up the prayer. That one's good. Nice bucket there for Jackson Wheeldryer. His foot inside the arc. Minute 30 left to go. Makes it a 6-point game.
Yep, referee signaled 2 on that long distance jumper.
Christian, the bounce pass inside, finding the big man again, Austin Dowd for a hard-earned bucket.
That is a great play by Christian. He drew 2 defenders to him, and Dowd was just hanging out along the baseline, got in position, easy bucket there. The great pass set it up.
He's got 7 points in 10 minutes. Minute left to go now in this first half. 8-point lead for Brandon Valley. O'Gorman with the basketball. CC on the bench right now. A few of the other starters on the bench for O'Gorman. They're getting these reserves some extended playing time, and it's going to be Christian on the other end now, finding Briggs Knutson for 3. That's no good. Arndt with the rebound, and Clark will bring it up with about a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock.
Yeah, sometimes some teams, if you have a fast-paced team in that situation, they'll just launch something quickly, try to play 2 for 1.
3 from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Brandon Valley, and now they will try to settle for the final shot of our first half. Knutson gets it across the half-court line. That ball got poked out of his hands for a moment. Recovered, though, finding Dang in the corner, and then he traveled as he tried to get the extra pass back inside. Tough break there for Brandon Valley.
Yeah, and, you know, the thing is, it's a turnover when you're out on the perimeter, not bottled up in the corner or anything like that. Now you give a chance for O'Gorman to maybe steal a little momentum heading into the halftime intermission.
You see Coach Roby on the sidelines trying to get everybody in the right position. Clark fouled as Christian reaches in.
That's only his first.
Still 5.5 seconds left.
Now, both teams, well, Brandon Valley 3-team fouls, 2 on O'Gorman. Lynx could just opt for fouling here just to wind down the clock.
Clark's going to drive in, gets contact, and he's going to get called for the foul. It's an offensive foul on Mason Clark with the charge.
Dang held his ground again for the Lynx.
He's favoring that left hip a little bit. He took a pretty good shot and will go to the sidelines.
Yeah, that was heavy-duty contact there, and then he hit the ground pretty hard as well. 2.2 seconds, not a whole lot of time to cook something up.
Inbound coming from the baseline. They will lob it up near half court. That got tipped out of bounds. Still a second and a half left.
Well, that actually kind of helps Brandon Valley because now you advance the ball to half court. I mean, you had 0.7 seconds, I think, tick off the clock. But, that was, you didn't use a whole lot of time and you moved the ball halfway up the court. Lynx have a legit opportunity to get a shot, turn, 1.5 seconds left. You got an opportunity here.
Knights will bring in Alex Christian to try to get a tip in if necessary. The Lynx will respond, bringing in Landon Voigt to guard him. The inbound gets to Knutson. His teardrop prayer goes in at the buzzer. What a half for Braden Knutson. He has 16 points at the intermission, and watch this replay again from the right wing. Dropping it home. What a shot there, sending the Lynx into the locker room at halftime with an 11-point lead here in Rapid City. We'll take a timeout and be back with more AA basketball in just a moment.
As much as you have accomplished, there are times you'd rather not go it alone. While you determine what direction you go, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with community. Go with neighbors. Go with understanding. Go with support.
Don't be fooled by that beat-up old cap. Its faded crown represents the tireless work of America's farmers and ranchers. Its sturdy brim, their dedication to providing our nation with a safe, affordable food source. From sunup to sundown, they're turning quarters into the dollars that drive our rural economy. So we'd like to tip our hat to them. Farmers Union Insurance, protecting those that protect America's food source.
Bioethanol supplies more than just energy. It creates jobs in rural communities. It drives demand for local corn. It provides opportunities for family farms to thrive. To ensure agriculture plays a leading role in the efforts to decarbonize and transition energy, bioethanol remains at the forefront of a pursuit for a cleaner, brighter future for all Americans. Learn how at sdethanol.com.
At Southeast Technical College, you won't just study for a career, you'll live it. Training in classrooms that look, feel, and operate just like the real world. Because the best way to do what you learn is to learn by doing. Get your degree, get to work at Southeast Technical College.
Halftime in Rapid City, 36-25 your score. Brandon Valley extends this to a double-digit lead thanks to the last-second shot just a moment ago. Take a look at it. Braden Knutson getting the inbound. His foot nearly went on that baseline there, but he still had the presence to turn around, drop it in, get it over the defender's outstretched arms, and then just calmly jogs his way into the locker room like it's something he's done 1,000 times. That's the third buzzer beater we've had already today on the consolation side of this bracket. That's an indication on how the rest of this day is going to go. We are in for an exciting day 2 here at the AA Boys Basketball Tournament.
I think he said, Coach, had it all the way.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's got 16 points right now at halftime as the Lynx take this lead into the locker room.
All right, one of the things that makes sports special are the colorful mascots, and there have been a ton of iconic mascots over the years, and some of them may not be known to all the fans in the state. Well, last week we were at the girls' AA tournament, and we put some of the fans to the test. We'd show them the logo and see if they could identify this mascot.
Black Hills Rangers!
Well, they got a couple of them right out there, and of course there is some new ones like Irene Wakanda. That's a relatively new co-op there. They are the Eagles, and of course Wolsey Wessington, the Warbirds. That's a great logo, but a lot of people don't recognize it right off the bat.
I just loved hearing that. Give us an easy one. It's not easy if you don't pay attention. 36-25 your score here at halftime, an 11-point lead for Brandon Valley. The Lynx rolling through the first two quarters here against O'Gorman. We'll take another timeout and get you some highlights and stats when we come back.
Reading opens every door to learning, opportunity, and understanding. The South Dakota Department of Education is strengthening literacy outcomes for students across our state, helping educators connect classroom instruction to the science of how children learn to read and write. Through professional support and shared resources, schools are building strong foundation in literacy for every learner. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
Protecting crops. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station at Armour provide agronomy services, fertilizer products, and crop analysis systems, including Agronomy 365. This system helps manage your field's performance, supporting small-town communities while hiring and training local youth. Agronomy Plus in Mitchell, Rock Creek in Howard, and Valley Station in Armour, serving area producers and their communities.
Both teams making their way back out onto the court as we get ready for our second half. Before we get things started in quarter number 3, let's take a look at our first half highlights.
Yeah, you got Mason Clark on the run out here. Good start for O'Gorman. They had the early lead and gets the layup there. He had a very good first half, leading them with 10 points. Then the outside shot from Wheeldryer fell down, but then Mr. Austin Dowd went to work in the paint. He had a good, strong first quarter with 5 points in that first quarter of play. But the story has been, number one, Braden Knutson dropping in 3-pointers. Look at the pass from Deng McInerney. He had 8 points in that first half. Clark doing what he can, keep his team in it. 7 points in the first quarter, 10 at the break. And look at the circus shot there from Knutson. When you're hot, you're hot. Wheeldryer knocks down another tray. He had 8 points in the first half. Nice drive there by McInerney. And again, they feed Knutson. Knocks down another 3. He knocked down 4 of them in that first half, and that's how he ended the first half. The buzzer beater from beyond the NBA arc. And it is Knutson with 16 points leading the way, 8 for McInerney, 7 for Dowd. Brandon Valley shooting 13 of 24 from the floor. That's 54%, and they are 4-6 at the free throw line. Meanwhile, O'Gorman 9 of 28 from the floor, good for 32%. They are struggling from beyond the arc, just 3 of 14. Rebounding +2. Brandon Valley 2 more turnovers in that first half of play, but it's been the long distance shooting of Braden Knutson that has been the difference so far in this game, JJ.
Yeah, Braden Knutson leading all scorers with 16 points. On the other side, O'Gorman's got Clark with 10. Those are the only 2 players in double figures here today.
You look at some of the Brandon Valley fans. There's the O'Gorman huddle. Down by 11, but we saw a team down by 11 earlier today come back and win, so certainly not over by any stretch of the imagination. You know, again, the Knights, you know they're going to launch some threes. And if they can get a couple of them to fall, all of a sudden it turns the game right around.
11-point lead for Brandon Valley. They put 8 minutes back on the big board. Both teams will have their starting fives out there, and we are ready to go. It'll be O'Gorman with the basketball to start the second half. Mason Clark will bring it up. Again, he's 4 or 5 today. 10 points, 15 minutes. Gonna need more of Mason here down the stretch as he passes it back over to the left wing. O'Gorman has been very patient with their offense here today. Good pass over to the corner. The three, no good, and a whistle will send it the other way.
I think they're going to get Camden Cece on the rebounding foul as Dang had position. Brandon Valley looks like they switched up to a zone defense, and that kind of threw the Knights for a little bit of a loop here. They did get the good look from the corner, and shots just didn't fall. The looks have been there. The open opportunities have been there for the Knights. The shots just not falling.
Full court pressure coming from O'Gorman. Dang will bring it up. Uses the crossover to get it across the half-court line. There's Knutson. Had the big buzzer beater a moment ago.
Knights staying in that man-to-man defense. Switching out on the perimeter, getting some help.
Nice zip pass, finding his brother in the corner. That shot no good. Briggs couldn't get it to fall, and now a foul on Dang as he tried to fight for the rebound.
A good box out by CC Dang, only his first personal foul. But good ball movement by Brandon Valley. They had that in the first half as well. Finding some of those open shooters, mainly Braden Knutson out on the perimeter.
Yeah, quick, confident passing usually leads to good opportunities scoring-wise. They've shot 52% today as a team. Here's CC in. His layup attempt no good. The tip back no good. Yellowbird tried to keep it alive, and that's going to go the other way here. They're going to call a foul on O'Gorman. They're going to call a technical foul on CC.
Yeah, just frustration there. Again, he had a good look inside, and we will walk down to the other end, or at least one player will. That will be McInerney.
8 points, 3 of 3 at the free throw line today for McInerney. He's going to be the designated shooter here for the Lynx. That one's no good.
They're on the year 71%. He is the top percentage free throw shooter for the starters for Brandon Valley.
Lefty's second attempt is good. CC to the sidelines. O'Gorman will get in. Matthew Mead.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few technical fouls today between the first game and this game, more than I've seen in a long, long time.
Briggs will bring it up for Brandon Valley. There's his brother, Braden. Right-handed dribble over to the right side. Get the feeling the Lynx feeling pretty comfortable with their three-point shooting right now, especially for how deep that one went, but it's going to go the other way. Foul's going to be called on Brandon Valley here on the offensive rebound opportunity. They will get Dowd with the personal. That's his second.
Yeah, so far, both teams have spread around the fouls except for CC. He's the only player on either team in foul trouble with 3, and he's on the bench at the moment.
Wheel Dryer and Clark playing catch for a moment. It's Clark with it again at the top of the key. He'll lob it to the left block. Wheel Dryer wanted to shoot the 3. That got deflected, and he tried to pass it away at the last second. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think Hermanson was anticipating this pass as he was looking for his teammate to shoot the ball.
Dang quickly into the front court. Dowd a little power dribble, but he lowered the shoulder. It's going to be an offensive foul. Both teams getting a little foul happy here to start this third quarter.
Yeah, good strong move to the bucket, but you can't lower your shoulder like that. Good job by Hermanson to draw the charge.
2 minutes gone by here in this third quarter. Clark zips it over to the right side to Mead. Now over to the left side. They'll get it down low to Hermanson for a moment. Wheel Dryer back to the top of the key. Clark over to the right side. Now he wants it again at the top. 10 on the shot clock. He'll launch. That one too short. Off the front side of the iron, no good. Dang will bring it up. That shot contested on the way in. It'll send McInerney to the line for 2.
And that's on Wheel Dryer, his second. Love the aggressive play there by the Lynx as they really press the issue there after that missed shot.
First free throw attempt, no good.
He's stuck on 9 points currently.
14 minutes today for McInerney. 2 of 6 from the field. Now 4 of 6 at the free throw line. Makes this one. 1 of 2 this trip around. He's in double figures. The second Lynx to get into double figures scoring today. Knutson with 16. McInerney now with 10. Just over 5.5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3. Clark. Wheel Dryer back to the top of the key to Clark. Little Euro step inside the lane. His shot attempt no good.
Oh, and a
stolen
turnover.
away. Clark, one player to beat, goes up and in for the left-handed layup, and a timeout called by head coach Derek Roby.
Yeah, Coach Roby is not liking what his offense is doing and facing this zone defense for Brandon Valley.
That'll be a full timeout on the floor here with 5:15 left to go as you see Clark's layup attempts.
Yep. The Lynx got a little out of control there, but coming out here in the second half, the Lynx have switched up to a zone defense, kind of like a modified 1-3-1 with the guard anchoring in the middle, and that is Braden Knutson, but he comes up top really quickly to help guard on the perimeter, prevent those three-pointers. And the Knights have appeared a little out of sorts, and they're struggling from the floor. Again, 30% from the floor, 50% even for Brandon Valley. Knights at 10 of 33, Brandon Valley 13 of 26 from the floor overall. Rebounding +4 to Brandon Valley.
As far as the second half is concerned, Brandon Valley is 0 for 2 from the field. They have missed both of their three-point attempts. O'Gorman in this third quarter, 1 of 5 from the field, and they've missed both of their threes. Day 2, your legs can get a little heavy with the quick turnaround. Again, both of these teams played in the evening session yesterday, so an even quicker turnaround to try to get back on the floor here today at, I guess, early afternoon, almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah, here in Rapid City, and I've always thought of all the games that get played, it's this one that may be the physically toughest to prepare for because, again, both teams played last night, and now you got the short turnaround to come back and play in the afternoon.
Briggs with the drive inside. Nice bounce pass into the interior, finding Delaney from the right-handed bucket. His first points here today.
Yeah, O'Gorman was going for a trap, and Delaney managed to find an open spot and a good pass to set him up there. That was Briggs Knutson with the good pass.
O'Gorman trying to answer here with 4:44 left to go in the third. Wheel Dryer, the 3, no good. That's, I believe, going to stay here on this end of the floor. Foul called on Brandon Valley. We'll continue play when we come back after the break. Right now with Brandon Valley leading O'Gorman 40-27 in Rapid City. More AA basketball due up when we return.
Your Great Plains Case IH dealers know that hard work starts early, in the field and on the field or the court. Dedication, teamwork, pride. The values driving farmers also power South Dakota athletes. Growing crops or growing champions, it takes the same drive to succeed. Your local Great Plains Case IH dealers know the future is built by showing up day after day, ready to work, ready to win. Great Plains Case IH dealers, supporting schools, athletes, and the communities we grow.
Back at it here with 4:39 left to go in our third quarter. Brandon Valley with a 13-point lead over O'Gorman. Both teams a little slow out of the gates here in this second half. O'Gorman 1 of 6 since the halftime break. They are 0 for 3 from three-point land. Trying to get the offense jump-started. 4.5 minutes left to go in our third quarter. Yellowbird around to Wheel Dryer.
Yeah, we only got 6 combined points in this period.
Clark will knock in the 3 from the right wing. That's his second made 3 of the day. He's got 15 points. One shy of the game's leading scorer. Braden Knutson leads the charge on the other side for Brandon Valley with 16.
Yeah, Clark's got half his team's points here. Still a 10-point deficit for O'Gorman.
4 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Dowd double teamed. Bounce pass inside. Briggs Knutson, the right-handed layup.
It's his first points of the day. But he's had a big impact on the court with his passing ability.
3 from the left corner. That one off the left side of the iron, no good. Rebounded by Dang. Lob pass up ahead to Christian. His shot blocked by Yellowbird. Takes out a cameraman in the process, and now Clark and everybody else up ahead. Clark kicks it to Yellowbird. The left wing 3, in and out, no good. Dang had the rebound, but it was tipped out of his hands, and O'Gorman recovers.
Yeah, great hustle play by Hermanson to tip that ball away from a Lynx player.
3 from the right wing on the way. That's no good. Boy, the threes are just not falling for O'Gorman today. They are now 4 of 21 from three-point land and 1 of 7 in this second half.
And the thing is, they're getting the open looks. The shot's just not falling.
Cross-court pass. Back to the top of the key now to Briggs. He'll dribble inside. Finds his brother in the right corner. That shot no good. Dowd tipped it. Yellowbird gets it, though. It's a 2-on-2 fast break. Yellowbird coast to coast all the way in for the layup. O'Gorman wanted a foul, but they will allow play to continue on as Yellowbird puts in a nice tough bucket in transition.
Yeah, it is first points of the day, and great transition play there by the Knights.
2:35 left to go here in this third quarter. Back to a 10-point game. Brandon Valley turns it over again. Clark looking for some help. No, he'll go all the way in. The right-handed layup. A pair of coast-to-coast buckets for O'Gorman. They've made this an 8-point game.
Yep, they got momentum swinging on their side. Now here's potentially another turnover.
Dowd had it for a moment. I think they got the timeout before he passed it away. It'll be a timeout for Brandon Valley. It'll be a 30-second timeout here with 2:12 left to go in the third.
Yeah, it's one of those timeouts just to save the possession there, but the Knights got a little momentum here as they've, kicked up their defense, gotten a couple of transition buckets here. Watch Clark maintain control. Ball almost got away from him, but a nice job of just maintaining control, maintaining his poise. The defender, just slowed up a little bit to let the defender go by him, and a nice play there by the O'Gorman Knights.
Brandon Valley at halftime had 6 turnovers. They've gotten 3 already here in this third quarter. 2 on back-to-back plays just a moment ago. So a good timeout there for Brandon Valley to try to right the ship and make sure they take better care of the basketball.
Yeah, talking about three-pointers earlier, they're 4 of 21 for the Knights, 6 of 18 for Brandon Valley. And the rebounding battle, pretty even, +2 Brandon Valley.
Looking at points in the paint with the three-point woes for both teams. Brandon Valley 0 for 3 in this second half. O'Gorman 1 for 7. The points in the paint, 16 for Brandon Valley, 14 for O'Gorman today, and now a foul. Going to be on the play here. This will be on O'Gorman.
I think it's Aaron.
Yep. So it'll be a fresh shot clock here for Brandon Valley with 2:08 left to go. Third quarter action in an 8-point game. Inbound will come from the sidelines.
Both teams, 4 team fouls in this period.
Knutson had his pass tipped. Dowd tried to keep it alive, and
I think Dowd let it go. He saw that Aaron tipped it, and he just watched it just trickle out of bounds.
Briggs Knutson will trigger this. He gets it to Dowd, and a nice little jump stop and a finish inside. A very athletic move there for 2 hard-earned buckets.
Great inbounds play for Brandon Valley.
Dowd now with 9 points. He's a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor today. He's played 20 minutes out there for Brandon Valley. Clark zips it over to the left corner. Aaron up to the top of the key to Yellowbird. Back to Aaron. He'll drive inside. Extra pass into the interior, misses. Brandon Valley will come away with it. McInerney slowing things up with 1:20 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was a smart play there. He really didn't have the numbers.
Lob pass inside. Dowd double teamed. Uses the jump stop again. Creates some contact. And they're going to call a foul here, I think, on O'Gorman.
I think they're going to tell Schlimgen with the foul.
6'2" sophomore picks up his first personal, his second personal foul. Dowd at the line, 1 of 2 today. Misses this one.
Wheeldryer gets a break. Hermanson into the game for the Knights.
Second attempt at the line for Dowd. That's no good.
I think it was Christian that tipped it out of bounds for for Brandon Valley.
O'Gorman will get the basketball back. This has been the lowest scoring quarter of the day for either team. Neither team has gotten into double digits here in this third quarter.
Yeah, 17 combined points this quarter for both squads.
Yellowbird up to the top of the key to Clark. He wants it again. It'll be Yellowbird inside the lane. The extra pass. Aaron for 3. That's good from the right wing. Second made 3 of the half for O'Gorman. For Aaron, that's his first points of the contest.
And the tournament.
Dang. Jump stop inside the lane. Kicks it back outside. McInerney's 3, no good. Offensive rebound, though. McInerney will get a second chance. That's no good, and he'll go to the line for 2. He has made half of his points at the free throw line. Today's 5 of 7 at the stripe in 16 minutes.
Yeah, he's got 10 points, matching his total of yesterday, but he's been very, very active player today.
That one's good.
Offensive rebounds, 6-2, advantage O'Gorman.
Second one is good. 29 seconds left to go. Shot clock turned off here late in this third quarter as Clark brings it up for O'Gorman. 9-point lead for Brandon Valley. Clark over to the right side. Aaron will try the 3 again. Same spot, same result. His second made 3 of the day, and it's a 2-possession game.
Sophomore coming up big today for the Knights.
Down to the final 4 seconds. Dang finding Christian. His 3 from the left wing, no good. That's how your third quarter will come to an end. Little momentum for O'Gorman. They've hit 4 of their last 5 shots and has made this a 6-point game as we head into the fourth quarter. 8 minutes back on the big board when we come back to Rapid City after the break.
For over 55 years, Muth Electric has been powering progress across the Midwest. Our team of professionals deliver electrical solutions with innovation and safety at the core. We work with purpose, knowing that each project contributes to something bigger. Muth Electric, a partner in building a brighter future since 1970.
Six-point game as we go into our fourth quarter here between Brandon Valley and O'Gorman. Been a good turnaround for the Knights, who outscored Brandon Valley 15-10 in that third quarter. Hit a couple big threes, in fact, 3 threes in that third quarter. Brandon Valley went 0 for 5 from three-point land and just 3 of 9 from the field. Still, Brandon Valley at 48% for the day. They've got 2 players in double figures, and they will have the basketball to start this fourth quarter of action.
And Leighton Aaron coming off the bench for the Knights. 2 big three-pointers in that third period of play.
He helped turn this game around. Still, O'Gorman trails. They'll need a stop. They almost got it. Ball loose and recovered, though, by Briggs. They'll hand it off to Braden. The 2 Knutsons at the top of the key running the show offensively right now for Brandon Valley. Here's Christian. Back to Braden. Briggs, a little stutter step up to the free throw line. His jump shot is no good, and it goes out of bounds, but it'll stay here. They'll say last touched by O'Gorman.
Yeah, Dowd creating problems on that rebound for the Knights. They couldn't get it. I think it bounced off of Aaron out of bounds, but Dowd was in there trying to fight for that one for the Lynx.
Lob pass inside. Dowd with the quick release. Couldn't get it to go. O'Gorman, an opportunity here in a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that was a good inbounds play, and Dowd just did everything but finish.
Yellowbird has it in the left wing. He'll get it up to the top of the key. Quick pass over to the corner. 3 on the way for Wheel Dryer. That's no good off the top of the iron. Rebounded by Christian. He slips as he tried to get a quick stop and sent that ball out of bounds. It's going to be O'Gorman ball again here with 6:56 left to go.
Yeah, Christian out, Deng in for the Lynx. Still anybody's game here. This lead certainly not insurmountable.
O'Gorman thinking 3. They will settle for the 2 if they can get it, but keeping the passes out around the arc. It's Clark. Swings it, Wheel Dryer. He'll try to poke his way inside. No. Aaron, his 3. No. Clark, the offensive rebound, puts it up. A tough angle and a nice finish for Mason Clark. He's got 19 today to lead O'Gorman.
Yeah, that was a circus shot. That the Lynx going to a 2-3 zone on that last possession. And, you know, the Knights got a good look from the corner, but it was, a great individual effort on the second chance.
4-point game. Now Dowd gets fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for 2.
I think Wheel Dryer will get the foul. He will, his 3rd. Dowd is a matchup problem for a lot of teams, especially the Knights. They don't go super big in the middle.
First one's good. Back to a 5-point lead. Aaron will go to the sidelines and get a nice round of applause. Dowd makes his second. 6-point lead for Brandon Valley. See how O'Gorman responds. And they've been keeping it out around the perimeter for the most part here in this second half. 3 of 11 from three-point land. They'll try one here. Yellowbird can't connect. Offensive rebound, though, for O'Gorman. Clark back outside. Another 3 on the way. That one's good. 3-point bucket. Chase Hermanson.
His first points of the game.
He was 0 for 6 from three-point land before that one. Now Deng finding the open shooter in the corner. That one rattles in and out. Rebounded by O'Gorman. Knutson couldn't get it to fall. Now with this possession, O'Gorman could tie it. Down by 3. 48-45 your score.
Yeah, Lynx in that 2-3 zone.
Very patient approach right now. Still with 19 on the shot clock. Right corner 3, no. Dowd the rebound for Brandon Valley.
See how the Lynx, see if they'll push the pace. They will.
Knutson's 3, no good. He's been stuck at 16 since halftime. There's his brother Briggs. His layup attempt no good. Dowd the offensive rebound. That's rejected, but a foul called on O'Gorman. Tough break there for O'Gorman. We will step aside in a 3-point game with 4:50 left to go. Brandon Valley the 3-point edge.
Powering the possibilities of tomorrow starts today. For our homes, our farms, our businesses. That's why our Touchstone Energy Cooperative continually plans for the future by utilizing and sourcing safe, reliable power for the next generation. So we can power possibilities long into the future. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, powering possibilities.
Well, everybody on the edge of their seats right now trying to get their teams fired up here over the final 4:50, 48-45 your score. Brandon Valley still holding on to the lead, but it is not a comfortable lead anymore. They've been outscored 20-12 since halftime. O'Gorman has found their offensive rhythm. Still shooting at 35% for the game, but Brandon Valley has seen their numbers dip now to 42%. Clock stops, and they will get to the free throw line with Dowd ready to shoot. That one's good. He's now 4 of 7 at the line today. 12 points, 6 rebounds in 20 minutes. Christian checks in. Knutson checks out.
Yeah, number 30, Christian, who's in, is considered one of the best on-ball defenders in the state.
You may need that here down the stretch. A renewed defensive effort for Brandon Valley with O'Gorman back within 5. Under 5 minutes left to go here in regulation. We have not seen an overtime game in this tournament as of yet. We've seen some buzzer beaters today, some prolific scoring individual performances already in the consolation side. And there's Mason Clark. He's got 21 points now with his 9th made bucket today. He's played 26 minutes, but 0 hesitation in his game. A very confident drive in for the finish.
And he got past Christian, who's, like I said, a really good on-ball defender there, as I think it's McInerney who got his 3rd foul for Brandon Valley. That's just a great individual effort.
Clark makes the free throw, makes it a 2-point game with 4.5 minutes left to go here in our 4th quarter.
And we saw that in the first game. It looked like T-Area was going to run away. Watertown came back here. Looked like Brandon Valley may put some distance between themselves and the Knights, but O'Gorman has rallied.
And both teams lost on the first day of the tournament. It's so hard to forget about that game. Turn the page as Knutson launches the 3. That's in and out, rebounded by Wheeldryer. But you've got to turn the page quickly mentally, get your body ready as Clark finds Yellowbird. That was a beautiful pass. Just couldn't get the finish off the glass. That would have tied the game.
That was a great attack there by the Knights, and again, just had another shot that would not fall for him. But they had the right idea.
Dang with a zip pass to Christian. He'll give a little shimmy and a drive on the baseline. Now it's Dowd up to the top of the key. It's McInerney's 3 rattling in and out. Dowd the offensive rebound. Tried to get it inside to Dang. He digs that out from underneath and gets fouled on his way back up. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, just, Dang just couldn't find it there right away.
There's Yellowbird on the bottom of that committing the foul. The shot rejection actually was clean, but Yellowbird taking his legs out from underneath him. First free throws of the day for Dang, and that hits the front of the rim, hits some glass, and goes in.
Yeah, he averages over 13 a game. He's only scored 4. By the way, for Yellowbird, that is his 2nd personal foul. Team's 3rd.
Nobody in any real danger of fouling out of this game right now. Both teams have 2 players with 3 personals. And that's it. Timeout on the floor. It'll be a full timeout. We'll step aside with Brandon Valley leading O'Gorman 52-48, 3:27 left to go in regulation.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for all of it. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great. And we're here for all of it. See you at the game.
Lake Area Technical College provides hands-on learning and practical experience in real-world environments. Prepare for a career right out of school from the moment you step on campus for an education that can really be put to work. Lake Area Tech is the start of something new.
Hey, buddy.
Into the home stretch here in the fourth quarter with Brandon Valley still clinging to this 4-point lead, 52-48 as you look at their student section. The white out today. O'Gorman going with the blackout in their student section. And well, these Knights are close to getting over the hump in this one here, Steve. They have not quite been able to take the lead in this game, but it's been a very strong second half effort to bring them back into a two-possession game.
Yeah, they've outscored them 23-16 in this second half. Brandon Valley's pretty much led a good, 90% of this game. O'Gorman got off to a good start, but it was Brandon Valley late in the first quarter, and they've led pretty much ever since.
Yellowbird ran out of room on the baseline. I think the O'Gorman coaching staff wants to say it was last touched by a Lynx player, but this is going to be Brandon Valley basketball.
Coach Roby pleading his case here, and now the officials will confer with 3:09 on the clock. Brandon Valley ball.
Christian will inbound it with full court pressure to deal with. Deng will bring it up.
See if they try a trap anywhere.
They break it with relative ease as Briggs gets it. Yellowbird in front of him. Under 3 minutes to play in a 4-point game. Knutson looking inside, nothing there, spinning, trying to get away from the defender. Yellowbird got a handle on it and steals it away. Now Wheeldryer trying to secure it. He'll bounce it up ahead. The layup is good. That one good for Schlimgen, and now a timeout called on the floor. O'Gorman wants a full timeout in a 2-point game with 2:40 left to go. The effort from Yellowbird, the nice pass from Wheeldryer, and Schlimgen, the strong finish underneath.
Yeah, that was great, starting back on the other side of the court, and just some great team basketball there from O'Gorman. Starts off with the defense of Yellowbird and that extra pass for the layup. That's how you win basketball games, by making that extra pass. And O'Gorman, they were down by a bunch, but they have just stormed back here. Remember, this was an 11-point game at halftime in favor of Brandon Valley. But the Knights, again, cranking up the defense and forcing another turnover.
This one far from over with 2:40 left to go in regulation. Again, it's worth pointing out O'Gorman was outscored in the first half 36-25. They have outscored Brandon Valley now 25-16 since the intermission.
Turnovers, 11 for Brandon Valley, 6 for the Knights. Points off turnovers, 12-5, advantage O'Gorman.
Offensive rebounds are basically even. Second chance points are basically even today. These two teams have played a pretty sound game today. Brandon Valley, though, too many turnovers. They had 6 in the first half, 5 now in this second half. O'Gorman's only got 6 for the entire game. They've done a very good job of taking care of the basketball, and if they find a way to come back and win this one, you might be able to point to the turnovers, and ball security is a big reason why they end up winning this game. Still got to find a way to hit a few more buckets. They've hit 4 threes in this second half, while Brandon Valley has gone 0 of 7 from distance. Knutson playing catch with his brother, had his pass almost taken away. Briggs will recover. 11 on the shot clock now as McInerney brings it up to the top of the key. Left-handed dribble for McInerney. He'll swing it over to the right side. Deng launching the desperation 3, and it's good at the buzzer.
That is heartbreak for O'Gorman because they played great defense on that possession. It was just a fantastic shot.
First made 3 of the half for Brandon Valley. They're now 1 of 8 from three-point land in this second half. 7 made threes and 23 tries overall here today for the Lynx. 5-point game. Clark up to the top of the key. Hermanson. Now it's Wheeldryer spinning, throwing it up off the glass and in.
That gives him 10.
90 seconds left to go in a 3-point game. O'Gorman looking for a stop. The Lynx would be very content letting this clock run down just about to a minute before they take their shot. Dowd's pass stolen away. Wheel Dryer stepped in front of it. He'll bring it up. Swings it up to the top of the key, and a timeout called by Coach Roby. He asked his assistants, what do I got? He decided to mull over it for a moment and then pulled the trigger and said, yeah, let's take the timeout and talk this one over.
Yeah, they have 2 timeouts left. Team foul situation, 3 on O'Gorman. Just 1 team foul on Brandon Valley. Now, you like that generally if you're Brandon Valley, and they do have the lead. However, if it comes down where the situation gets reversed, Brandon Valley's got to commit several more fouls to send O'Gorman to the line.
Well, and here's where you could really start to scheme over this timeout on how to handle the rest of this 109 for O'Gorman. You could take a quick 2 and get a high percentage shot, go back and try to get a stop defensively and then take the lead, or you could settle for a 3, the tie, and then hope for a stop. But there's realistically 2, maybe 3 possessions left in this game with 1:09 left to go, and so being smart with how they want to handle this is going to be paramount here. But really, O'Gorman's played great defense. I think they'd be willing to gamble a little bit with the 2-point bucket and use that defense to get a stop, but that doesn't leave you with a lot of room for error there on that last possession of the game.
By the way, the next jump ball will go to O'Gorman. So again, with that place in the front, they can take a few more chances. If they force a jump ball, they get the ball. So, O'Gorman, they've got a few cards that they can play here in this final 1:09.
And Derek Roby, the longtime head coach here at O'Gorman, knows how these situations work. He's been here time after time, and so to be that cool, calm voice in that huddle to let his guys know, hey, we've got this, get them in the right position.
And if I'm right, it's 20 years he's been at O'Gorman, if I remember correctly.
Started up in Aberdeen. Had a lot of success with these O'Gorman Knights over the years. Here's Clark driving in. He got fouled. They're going to wave it off.
Yep, on the floor, not in the act of shooting.
They will call this on Brandon Valley. It'll be Austin Dowd who picked up the personal.
That's his 4th.
59 and 2/10 of a second left. There'll be a full 35 on the shot clock. This might change the game plan a little bit here for O'Gorman. They may look for a 3 now in this possession. Clark with it in the left wing, drives inside, kicks it out. Yellowbird up to the free throw line. He'll bring it out again.
Deng is hurt. He is limping out there.
45 seconds left to go. He fights through a screen. Now Yellowbird over to the left wing. Driving inside, Will Dreyer got fouled as he went up. This will be on Brandon Valley. They'll get Briggs Knutson with the personal foul.
Yeah, Deng is limping out there noticeably, but I don't see anybody heading to the scores table for Brandon Valley. They're going to ride it with number 5 out on the court.
4 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. At this point, O'Gorman is looking for a 3 to tie it. Yellowbird to the right wing. Hermanson back to Clark. There's Yellowbird. He'll drive baseline. Kicks it inside. His pass taken away. Brandon Valley got the stop, and now O'Gorman will have to foul, and they do. 18 seconds left.
They were trying to find Schlimgen underneath, and he was open, but the pass got away from him. O'Gorman's got 1 more foul to give, so that's 4th team foul.
They had their opportunities there in that possession with 1:09 left to go. Took basically 45 seconds before Brandon Valley could get the ball back. Now they can run the clock out, but Gorman thinking foul first.
Yeah, that's the signal from the bench. Foul right away.
Clark will. He fouls Braden Knutson. Again, had 16 points at halftime. Has not scored since, though. 23 minutes today. He's 0 for 1 at the free throw line in this game. He makes 1. Makes it a 2-possession game and makes it difficult here for O'Gorman.
On the year, just 33% at the free throw line. It's one of those guys, has the odd stat, 41% from three-point land, 33% from the free throw line. But that one, nothing but net.
4-point lead. Clark letting his teammates know how they want to handle this. Second attempt, no good. Rebounded, though, by Brandon Valley, but he stepped out of bounds. Delaney stepped out of bounds. It'll be O'Gorman basketball. 16 3/10 of a second left in a 4-point game. Clark hustling into the front court, and he's fouled by Dang almost as soon as he got across the half-court line, and that's a smart foul there.
Yeah, because that's only the 4th team foul on Brandon Valley. They don't get free throws. And now they get a chance to reset their defense and take a look at what the O'Gorman Knights are going to do.
13 seconds left. 3 from the right wing. This one on the way off the front side of the iron. Rebounded by Dang, and he's fouled from behind with 7 seconds left. He will take the long walk to the other end of the floor in a 4-point game.
Yeah, not a bad look there. I mean, it was a contested shot, but O'Gorman had to put up something quickly. And they got about as good a look as they were probably going to get.
Coach Nelson gathered all 5 of his players for a moment. He'll send Dang to the line and talk to the other 4. This one good. Still a 2-possession game. Even if he makes this free throw, it's a 2-possession game. Second one, no good. Rebounded by O'Gorman, 6 seconds left. Clark drives inside, his pass got taken. Yellowbird, his shot no good at the buzzer. Brandon Valley survives a scare as O'Gorman came back furiously in this second half, but it ends up being a 5-point win for Brandon Valley, 57-52 your final score. We will step aside and get your final thoughts from our afternoon session here in Rapid City. More AA boys basketball coming up after the break on SDPB, South Dakota Public Broadcasting.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
You hear about work-life balance like it's a big equation you have to find the answer to. But I think it's much simpler than that. So simple it was right in front of us. Start with the life you want, and everything else will follow.
Peterson reps real-life seed heroes. Well, they've been known to go the extra mile. Literally thousands of extra miles every year. And when they're not driving gravel roads, they're out walking fields and sampling soil. When time is the enemy, they're there to save what's left of the day. Are all Peterson reps seed heroes? I guess that's a yes. Peterson, we're that kind of seed company.
And welcome back inside the Ice Arena, inside the Monument here in Rapid City. 2 hard-fought games here on the consolation bracket. Our second contest of the day goes to Brandon Valley, 57-52. And let's check out some of the highlights from this second half. And really, JJ, O'Gorman's defense got them back into this game. They were down by 11 at the break.
Yeah, they played a much better brand of basketball in the second half, more of what we are accustomed to seeing from an O'Gorman team. They were on a furious comeback attempt, and really the second half belonged to the Knights, but this Brandon Valley team did just enough when it mattered, came up with enough stops, enough big buckets, and they had 1 3 in the second half. That ends up being essentially the difference in this game, 57-52. Brandon Valley got some big points inside today. 18 of their 57 points came in the interior. O'Gorman really relied on the threes in the second half. Can't say enough good things about Mason Clark. He had 22 points today, 9 of 13 from the field. O'Gorman almost had the comeback completed, but fell just short here this afternoon.
Yeah, 3 players for Brandon Valley in double figures, led by Knutson, who had 17, 13 for Austin Dowd with 8 rebounds as well, 12 for Lincoln McInerney. Meanwhile, 22 for Mason Clark, 10 for Jackson Wheeldryers. You see the team stats there. 5 more turnovers for Brandon Valley, but they also had 4 more rebounds in the game, and Brandon Valley got to the free throw line many more times. 3-pointers, both teams made 7 on the day, and O'Gorman had a few more looks, but some of them just rattled out throughout the afternoon.
Free throws a big part of what Brandon Valley found success in today. They got to the line 24 times, 16 made free throws in this game. Big part of their success this afternoon, and they will pick up their first win here this weekend in Rapid City.
Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and put a wrap on the afternoon session in a moment right here on SDPB.
Creating a legacy means different things to everyone. For us, it's about family, watching my daughter follow in my footsteps, passing the farm under her, and working side by side every day. It's about building something that lasts. Agtegra Cooperative has been by our side through it all, supporting us from one generation to the next. Agtegra Cooperative, legacy rich, future focused for generations to come.
Educators across South Dakota are coming together to elevate, educate, and empower. This June, the Department of Education hosts the South Dakota Literacy Conference in Mitchell, a gathering dedicated to advancing the science of reading and sharing new insights into how students learn, exploring research and real-world strategies for South Dakota educators to move literacy forward for all learners. South Dakota Department of Education, learning, leadership, service.
Bank West is rooted in South Dakota. Committed to local success. Just like you. We're all connected. In South Dakota. For South Dakota. Convenient, connected, committed. Bank West.
South Dakota, a state shaped by its people. It's more than a place, it's opportunity waiting to be realized. At South Dakota State University, opportunity is turned into progress. Through research, education, and a community that inspires, SDSU drives the future of this state. We're not just here, we're taking action with purpose, trust, and impact. This is SD State.
(57-52) your final score. Brandon Valley got the win over O'Gorman in our second game of the afternoon session. Sets up our consolation side of the bracket as we look at how things have played out here today. The T-Area Titans battled Watertown, and it was the Arrows who came from behind to win that game by 5. Brandon Valley held on to their lead throughout this one. They win by 5 as the 7 seed gets the victory over number 6. I guess you can say our first upset of this tournament, the consolation side of the bracket, and that sets up now our evening session as we get ready for tonight. It'll be number 1, Sioux Falls Lincoln taking on number 4, Harrisburg at 5 o'clock. Number 2 versus number 3 coming up at 6:45 as Roosevelt gets ready to battle Huron in what should be 2 great games.
Yeah, looking forward. Semifinal Friday night, always exciting as the top 4 seeds make it into the championship side of the bracket. Our coverage begins at 6 Central, 5 Mountain Time tonight.
He's Steve Toom. I'm JJ Hardigan for our crew here at South Dakota Public Broadcasting. We hope you've enjoyed today's action. We'll be back with our night session coming up a little bit later on. For now, we say so long from Rapid City. It's been buzzer beater day here at the state tournament. We'll have more exciting action coming your way later on tonight.